instructions before the seminar. The seminar will be starting by 2 p.m. sharp and end by 5:15 p.m. All the participants and delegates are requested to remain seated till the end of the program. Kindly remember to switch off your mobile phones. Participants are requested to stand while the chief guest and other dignitaries enter to the hall. Also during the prayer song, as well as the chief guests are honored, and finally for the national anthem. I request all the participants and delegates to remain seated till the end of the program. I remain the instruction once again. Kindly remember the instructions and hope this seminar will be a great experience. Thank you.
ഉപഭോക്താക്കൾക്കിടയിൽ ഏറെ ശ്രദ്ധ നേടിയ മലബാർ മിൽമയുടെ ഐസ്ക്രീം അത്യാധുനിക സാങ്കേതിക വിദ്യകളോടെ കോഴിക്കോട് ഡയറിയിലാണ് ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. ഇതിൽ ചോക്കോബാർ, കുൾഫി, ഫൺ ബാർ, കസാട്ട എന്നിവ ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിനായി ഓസ്ട്രിയയിൽ നിന്നും ഇറക്കുമതി ചെയ്ത് സ്ഥാപിച്ച ഐസ്ക്രീം എക്സ്ട്രഷൻ മെഷീൻ 2017 മുതൽ ഉപയോഗിച്ചു വരുന്നു. പൂർണ്ണമായും ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഈ മെഷീൻ മണിക്കൂറിൽ 4000 ഐസ്ക്രീം പീസുകൾ ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കും. 90 ദിവസത്തിലധികം ഷെൽഫ് ലൈഫ് ലഭിക്കുന്ന UHT മിൽക്ക് അത്യാധുനിക സംവിധാനത്തിലൂടെ യൂണിയന്റെ മലയോര ഡയറിയിൽ ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കുന്നു.
നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ നിൽക്കുന്നത് കേരളത്തിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ UHT പ്ലാന്റിലാണ്. 2019 സെൻട്രൽ ഗവൺമെന്റ് RKVY സ്കീം പ്രകാരം 18 കോടിയോളം രൂപ ചെലവഴിച്ച് മലയോര ഡയറിയിലാണ് ഈ പ്ലാന്റ് നിർമ്മിച്ചത്. UHT എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അൾട്രാ ഹൈ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റോടുകൂടി പ്രോസസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന പാലിനാണ് UHT ട്രീറ്റഡ് മിൽക്ക് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഇതിൽ പ്രധാനമായിട്ടും സ്റ്റെറിലൈസേഷനും പാക്കിങ്ങുമാണ് ഉള്ളത്. ഈ പ്രത്യേകതരം പാല് അൾട്രാ ഹൈ ടെമ്പറേച്ചറിൽ ട്രീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൽ 140 ഡിഗ്രി സെന്റിഗ്രേഡിൽ ചൂടാക്കണം. അതിനുവേണ്ടി സ്റ്റെറിലൈസർ മെഷീൻ നമ്മൾ സപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് ഇറ്റലിയിൽ നിന്നുള്ള റിഡ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന വേൾഡ് ക്ലാസ് എക്യുപ്മെന്റ് സപ്ലയർ ആണ്. പാക്കിംഗ് മെഷീൻ തിമോണിയർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഫ്രാൻസിൽ നിന്നും ഇമ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്ത മെഷീനാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഈ ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റിലെ എല്ലാ ഭാഗങ്ങളും എല്ലാ പ്രോസസ്സും നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റെറിലൈസേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന മോഡിൽ എൻഷുർ ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഇത് പാക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഈ ഫില്ലിംഗ് മെഷീൻ സ്ഥിതി ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഒരു ക്ലീൻ റൂമിലാണ്, സ്റ്റെറൈൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഏരിയയിലാണ്. അടുത്ത ഒരു കാര്യം പ്രധാനമായിട്ടും ഇത് സ്റ്റെറൈൽ കണ്ടീഷനിൽ തന്നെ കീപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് പാക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഇതിൻ്റെ ഫിലിമിൻ്റെ ഒരു പ്രത്യേകത കൂടിയുണ്ട്. ഈ ഫിലിം 5 ലെയർ പാക്കേജിങ് മെറ്റീരിയലാണ് ഈ ഫിലിം ഉപയോഗിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഈ ഫിലിമിൽ 90 മൈക്രോൺസ് തിക്നെസ്സും ഉണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് സാധാരണ കിട്ടുന്ന പാലിൻ്റെ പാക്കറ്റ് അപേക്ഷിച്ച് കുറച്ചും കൂടി കട്ടി കൂടുതലാണ്.
ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക് CIP സിസ്റ്റം പാൽ സംസ്കരണവുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ ഉപകരണങ്ങളും ടാങ്കുകളും പൈപ്പുകളും അണുവിമുക്തമായി എന്ന് ഉറപ്പുവരുത്തുന്നു. ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക് കണ്ടൻസേറ്റ് റിക്കവറി സിസ്റ്റം, ഇക്കണോമൈസർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എയർ പ്രീഹീറ്റർ ഘടിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള PLC കൺട്രോൾഡ് ബോയിലറുകൾ, സൂപ്പർ ഹീറ്റർ സംവിധാനം ഉപയോഗപ്പെടുത്തുന്ന VFD ബേസ്ഡ് റെഫ്രിജറേഷൻ സിസ്റ്റം, BMC യൂണിറ്റുകളിൽ നിന്നും പുറന്തള്ളുന്ന താപം വീണ്ടെടുക്കുന്നതിനായി ഹീറ്റ് റിക്കവറി യൂണിറ്റുകൾ, ഡയറികളിൽ സാധന സാമഗ്രികൾ കൈമാറ്റം ചെയ്യുന്നതിനായി ബാറ്ററി ഓപ്പറേറ്റഡ് വെഹിക്കിൾസ്, സൗരോർജ്ജം ഉപയോഗിച്ചുകൊണ്ടുള്ള വൈദ്യുതി, ചൂടുവെള്ളം തുടങ്ങിയവയുടെ ഉൽപ്പാദനം എന്നിവ വഴി മലബാർ മിൽമ ഊർജ്ജ സംരക്ഷണ മേഖലയിൽ തനതായ വ്യക്തിമുദ്ര പതിപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. മാത്രമല്ല ബയോളജിക്കൽ ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റ് വഴി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന മലിനജല സംസ്കരണ പ്ലാന്റുകളിൽ നിന്നും ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ബയോഗ്യാസ് ഡയറികളിലെ കാന്റീൻ അടുക്കളകളിൽ പാചകത്തിനുള്ള ഇന്ധനമായി ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നു. പാരമ്പര്യ ഊർജ്ജ സ്രോതസ്സുകൾ സംരക്ഷിക്കുക എന്ന സാമൂഹിക പ്രതിബദ്ധത നിറവേറ്റുന്നതിനായി മലബാർ മിൽമ സ്വീകരിച്ച ഊർജ്ജ സംരക്ഷണ നയത്തിന്റെ മികവിനാലും മലബാർ മിൽമ നടപ്പിലാക്കിയ മലിനീകരണ നിയന്ത്രണത്തിന്റെ ഭാഗമായും നിരവധി തവണ സംസ്ഥാന അവാർഡുകളും നാഷണൽ അവാർഡുകളും മലബാർ മിൽമയെ തേടിയെത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. എന്നാൽ ഇവയിൽ മാത്രം ഒതുങ്ങി നിൽക്കുന്നതല്ല മലബാർ യൂണിയന്റെ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് വൈഭവങ്ങൾ. കേരളത്തിലെ ക്ഷീരമേഖലയിലെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ പദ്ധതിയായ അത്യാധുനിക സംവിധാനങ്ങളോട് കൂടിയ പാൽപ്പൊടി പ്ലാന്റിന്റെ നിർമ്മാണം ഡയറി മേഖലയിലെ യന്ത്രനിർമ്മാണ രംഗത്ത് ലോകത്തിൽ തന്നെ പ്രമുഖരായ ടെട്രാപാക്ക് എന്ന സ്ഥാപനവുമായി സഹകരിച്ച് മലപ്പുറം ജില്ലയിൽ പുരോഗമിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പ്രതിദിനം 10 മെട്രിക് ടൺ പാൽപ്പൊടി ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കാൻ ശേഷിയുള്ള ഈ പ്ലാന്റ് പൂർണ്ണമായും ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കായാണ് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുക. 131 കോടി രൂപയോളം ചെലവിട്ട് പുരോഗമിക്കുന്ന ഈ ബൃഹത് പദ്ധതി നമ്മുടെ കൊച്ചു കേരളത്തിലെ ഒരു അതുല്യ നിർമ്മിതിയായിരിക്കുമെന്ന് നിസ്സംശയം പറയാം. ക്ഷീരമേഖലയിൽ പുത്തനുണർവ് സൃഷ്ടിക്കാൻ അത്യാധുനിക സാങ്കേതിക വിദ്യയുടെ പിൻബലത്താൽ മലബാർ മേഖല യൂണിയൻ വളരുകയാണ്, സമാനതകളില്ലാതെ.
I'm repeating the instructions. The session will be starting by 2 p.m. sharp and ending by 5:15 p.m. All the participants and delegates are requested to remain seated till the end of the program. Kindly remember to switch off your mobile phones, and participants are requested to stand while the chief guest and other dignitaries enter to the hall, also during the prayer song, as well as when the chief guest is honored, and finally for the national anthem. Thank you. Dear all, we are about to start the session. All the participants and delegates are requested to remain seated in the hall. I remind, kindly please be seated till the end of the program, and kindly remember to switch off your mobile phones. All of you kindly stand for receiving the delegate. Thank you everyone, and all of you kindly be seated. Good afternoon all dignitaries, guests, delegates and participants. As we all know, we are gathered here to be a part of the national seminar, Indian Dairy Industry Vision 2030. India holds the place of pride for nearly 2.5 decades. Today, India is contributing 23% of the global milk production, or in other words, nearly 1/4 of the global milk production is taking place in India. The cooperative movement in dairy sector has played a significant role in achieving this. The cooperative societies have ensured the socio-economic well-being of the farmers and also have broken the shackles of gender, caste, religion and community. Dairy is the single largest agricultural commodity, contributing 5% of the national economy and provide employment to over 80 million households. The daily milk consumption in the country rose from a low of 107 grams per person in 1970 to 427 grams per person in 2020-2021. On this auspicious occasion, we remember with gratitude our great visionary, the milkman of India, Dr. Verghese Kurian. Kerala holds 14th position in milk production among the states of India. Despite Kerala's substantial dependence on its neighboring states for meeting the day-to-day requirement of agricultural commodities, milk production in Kerala is on the verge of achieving self-sufficiency. Even though the circumstances of Kerala are generally unfavorable for agriculture-related activities, the dairy industry is successfully moving ahead in the state. In spite of the hurdles, the sector provides considerable support to the dairy farmers and brings in innovative technological interventions and product diversification for meeting the demands of the consumer. Padava, practical agro-dairy activities through value addition and cooperative unification, the state-level Dairy Fest of Kerala, being organized by the Dairy Development Department of Kerala in association with the Milma, Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University and associate agencies. In connection with the State Dairy Fest, Kerala Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, popularly known as Milma, Thiruvananthapuram, Ernakulam, Malabar Milk Unions, Department of Dairy Development, Government of Kerala, and the Indian Dairy Association Kerala chapter jointly organizes this national seminar on the topic Indian Dairy Industry Vision 2030. Sri Rajesh Kumar Singh IAS, the Honorable Secretary Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying to Government of India, is inaugurating this seminar. The meeting will be presided over by Srimati J. Tinjurani, Honorable Minister for Dairy Development and Animal Husbandry, Government of Kerala. Sri Minesh C. Shah, Chairman NDDB, Dr. Rupita Singh Sodhi, President Indian Dairy Association, Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, Director, Indian Institute of Plantation Management, Sri Pranab Jodhinath IAS, Secretary, Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development, Government of Kerala, Dr. A. Kaushikan IAS, Director, Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development, Government of Kerala, will be delivering the sessions in this seminar. Milma Chairman, Sri K.S. Mani, ERCMPU Chairman, Sri M.T. Jayan, TRCMPU Administrative Committee Convener, Sri N. Basurangan, Managing Director of Milma, Sri Asif K. Yusuf, IAS, the Registrar of Kerala Veterinary University, Dr. P. Sudhir Babu, Managing Directors, and Board of Directors of Milma Unions, Senior Officers of Dairy Department, IDA South Zone Office Bearers, Sri Charles, Dr. Givergis are here with us to grace the occasion. Let's start with a prayer. The prayer, Sarva Dharma Smarana, is written and composed by Acharya Vinoba Bhave, the Bharata Ratna winner and the famous Gandhian. We kindly request all the guests and the participants to be in standing position for the invocation.
तत्सत् श्री नारायण तु पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तु सिद्ध बुद्ध तु स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तु सविता पावक तु ब्रह्ममस्त तु यौह शक्ति तु ईशु पिता प्रभु तु रुद्र विष्णु तू राम कृष्ण तू रहीमताओ तू रहीमताओ तू वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तू वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तू चिदानंद हरि तू अद्वितीय तू अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तू आत्मलिंग शिव तू ओम तत्सत् श्री नारायण तू पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तू सिद्ध बुद्ध तू स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तू सविता पावक तू सविता पावक तू
Thank you all. Kindly be seated. സംസ്ഥാന ക്ഷീരസംഗമത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും അഭിമാനകരവും ശ്രദ്ധേയവുമായ പരിപാടിയാണ് ഇന്ത്യൻ ഡയറി ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി വിഷൻ 2030. ഈ വിഷയത്തെ ആസ്പദമാക്കി നടക്കുന്ന ദേശീയ സെമിനാറിലേക്ക് ഏവർക്കും ഹാർദമായ സ്വാഗതം. ഈ പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക് എത്തിച്ചേർന്ന ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മൃഗസംരക്ഷണ ക്ഷീരവികസന വകുപ്പ് മന്ത്രി, ഇന്ത്യൻ ക്ഷീരമേഖലയിലെ പ്രമുഖ വ്യക്തികൾ, കേന്ദ്ര സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാരുകളിലെ പ്രധാന നയ രൂപകർത്താക്കൾ, മിൽമയുടെയും 3 മേഖലാ യൂണിയനുകളുടെയും ചെയർമാൻമാർ, മാനേജിംഗ് ഡയറക്ടർമാർ, ഭരണസമിതി അംഗങ്ങൾ, കേരള വെറ്റിനറി സർവകലാശാലയിലെയും കാർഷിക സർവകലാശാലയിലെയും ശാസ്ത്രജ്ഞർ, ഡയറി ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റ്, ആനിമൽ ഹസ്ബൻഡറി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റ്, കേരള ലൈഫ് സ്റ്റോക്ക് ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ് ബോർഡ്, മിൽമ, ഇന്ത്യൻ ഡയറി അസോസിയേഷൻ എന്നിവിടങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നും എത്തിച്ചേർന്നിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ ഓഫീസർമാരെയും ഈ പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക് സഹർഷം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു.
नमस्कार. भारतीय डेयरी उद्योग विशन 2030 विषय पर राष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठी केरल राज्य दुग्ध सम्मेलन का सबसे प्रतिष्ठित और उल्लेखनीय कार्यक्रम है. माननीय केरल राज्य मृग संरक्षण और डेयरी विकास मंत्री श्रीमती जे चिंजुरानी के अध्यक्ष में होने वाली बैठक में अग्रणीय भारतीय डेयरी उद्योग के प्रमुख माननीय श्री R.K. सिंह, भारत सरकार पशुपालन और डेयरी विभाग के सचिव माननीय श्री मीनेश सी शाह, अध्यक्ष राष्ट्रीय डेयरी विकास बोर्ड, भारतीय डेयरी संघ के अध्यक्ष माननीय डॉक्टर R.S. सोधी, आदरणीय प्रोफेसर राकेश मोहन जोशी, निर्देशक IIPM, माननीय श्री प्रणब ज्योतिनाथ, सचिव केरल डेयरी विकास और पशुपालन विभाग, माननीय डॉक्टर A.K. कौशिगन, निर्देशक केरल पशुपालन एवं डेयरी विकास के सभी प्रमुख भाग ले रहे हैं. इस कार्यक्रम में शामिल होने वाले गणमान्य व्यक्तियों में केरल पशु चिकित्सा विश्वविद्यालय के कुलपति, मिल्मा के 3 क्षेत्र संघ के अध्यक्ष और प्रबंध निर्देशक, निर्देशक मंडल के सदस्य, केरल पशु चिकित्सा और पशु विज्ञान विश्वविद्यालय और कृषि विश्वविद्यालय के वैज्ञानिक, डेयरी विकास विभाग, पशुपालन विभाग, केरल पशुधन बोर्ड, मिल्मा और इंडियन डेयरी एसोसिएशन से आए सभी अधिकारियों को इस आयोजन में भाग लेने के लिए हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं।
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಕೇರಳದ ತ್ರಿಶೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವ ಕ್ಷೀರ ಸಂಗಮದ ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿದ ಡೈರಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ವಿಷನ್ 2023 ಎಂಬ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ವಿವಿಧ ಇಲಾಖೆಗಳ ಹಾಗೂ ಕೇರಳ ಪಶುವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರಮುಖರು, ಮಿಲ್ಮಾ ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರಾದೇಶಿಕ ಒಕ್ಕೂಟಗಳ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳನ್ನು ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
கேரளா மாநில பால்துறை சங்கமத்தில் நடக்கும் மிகவும் மதிப்புமிக்க மற்றும் குறிப்பிடத்தக்க திட்டமான நிகழ்வுதான் இந்தியன் டேரி இண்டஸ்ட்ரி விஷன் 2030 எனும் தலைப்பின் அடிப்படையில் நடக்கும் தேசிய கருத்தரங்க. இந்த நிகழ்வுக்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் மாண்புமிக பால்வள மேம்பாட்டுத்துறை அமைச்சர், இந்திய பால்துறை சேர்ந்த முக்கிய நபர்கள், மத்திய மற்றும் மாநில அரசை சேர்ந்த கொள்கை வகுப்பாளர்கள், மில்மா மற்றும் மேகலா யூனியன்களின் நிர்வாக இயக்குநர்கள், ஆளும் குழு உறுப்பினர்கள், கேரளா வெட்டினரி மற்றும் அக்ரிகல்ச்சரல் பல்கலைக்கழகத்திலிருந்து வருகை தந்திருக்கும் விஞ்ஞானிகள், டேரி டெவலப்மெண்ட் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட், அனிமல் ஹஸ்பண்ட்ரி டிபார்ட்மெண்ட், கேரளா லைஃப் ஸ்டாக் போர்ட், மில்மா, இந்தியன் டயரி அசோசியேஷன் சார்பாக வருகை தந்திருக்கும் அனைத்து அதிகாரிகளையும் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு மிகுந்த மகிழ்ச்சியுடன் வரவேற்கிறோம். The organizing committee of this national seminar is profoundly delighted to welcome all beloved chief guests, Milma Chairman of Regional Milk Unions of Kerala, Managing Directors and Board of Directors of Milma, 3 regional milk unions, IDA South Zone office bearers to this national seminar, and very happily welcome you to Thrissur, the cultural capital of Kerala, the God's own country. We are also glad to welcome academicians of Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, Kerala Agricultural University, officers of Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development Department, officers of Kerala Livestock Board, other officials from Milma, IDA and NDDB to this program. Dear all, with this extended wholehearted welcome, we are proceeding to the official function. Shri K.S. Mani, the chairman of Kerala Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation and Malabar Milk Union, as the key person behind all the innovative ideas being implemented by Milma, the biggest farmers cooperative organization of Kerala. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to request Shri K.S. Mani to welcome the gathering.
ഗുഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ. ഉറക്കത്തിലാണോ? ഒരു റെസ്പോൺസും ഇല്ലല്ലോ.
അല്ല സർ.
ഇല്ല. ഗുഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ.
ഗുഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ സർ.
ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗുഡ്. ഇവിടെ ഈ സെമിനാർ നടക്കുമ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഗൗരവം ഉൾക്കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ മൊബൈൽ ഫോണുകൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കാതിരിക്കാൻ ഒന്നുകിൽ സ്വിച്ച് ഓഫ് ചെയ്യുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സൈലൻറ്റ് മോഡ് ആക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് സഹകരിക്കണമെന്ന് വിനീതമായി അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്. ഒരു സ്വാഗത പ്രസംഗം നീണ്ട പ്രസംഗത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രസക്തിയില്ല, കാരണം വിവിധ ഭാഷകളിലായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ പങ്കെടുത്ത എല്ലാവരെയും സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞു. പക്ഷേ എന്നെ ഇവിടെ ക്ഷണിച്ചത് വെൽക്കം സ്പീച്ചിനായതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ചില വാക്കുകൾ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് അതിലേക്ക് കിടക്കാം. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ ഇത്രയും സമ്പുഷ്ടമായ വളരെ ഗുണകരമായ ഒരു പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ ഇവിടെ എത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള ഈ പരിപാടിയുടെ അധ്യക്ഷം വഹിക്കുന്ന നമുക്കെല്ലാം പ്രിയങ്കരിയായ നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ മൃഗസംരക്ഷണ ക്ഷീര വികസന വകുപ്പ് മന്ത്രി ശ്രീമതി ജെ ചിഞ്ചുറാണി അവർ, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ പരിപാടി ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്യാനായി നമ്മളോടൊപ്പം ദീർഘകാലം ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന, പിന്നീട് ഈ അടുത്ത കാലത്ത് ദേശീയ തലത്തിൽ യൂണിയൻ ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ സെക്രട്ടറിയായി പോയ നമ്മളിൽ ഒരുത്തനായ, നമ്മളുടെ ക്ഷീരമേഖലയെക്കുറിച്ച് സമഗ്രമായിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ വിവരങ്ങളും അറിയാവുന്ന, ഈ മേഖലയിലെ കുറേ കാലം പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ സെക്രട്ടറി AHൻ്റെയും ഡയറിയുടെയും ആയിരുന്ന പിന്നീട് അദ്ദേഹം ACS ഫിനാൻസിൻ്റെയായി ഈ അടുത്ത കാലത്ത് ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നവരെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ശ്രീ RK സിംഗ് ജി. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ NDDBയുടെ ചെയർമാൻ. നമുക്കറിയാം NDDB എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞാൽ മലയാളികളായ നമുക്ക് അതിനെക്കുറിച്ചൊരു വിശദീകരണം വേണ്ട. NDDBയുടെ സ്ഥാപകനായ നമുക്കൊക്കെ അഭിമാനം പൂർവ്വം ഓർക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന പത്മഭൂഷൺ ഡോക്ടർ വർഗീസ് കുര്യൻ്റെ ജന്മനാട്ടിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഈ ഒരു സെമിനാർ നടക്കുമ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം തുടങ്ങി വെച്ച NDDBയിലെയാണ് നമ്മൾ മിൽമയുടെയും ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ഫ്ലഡിൻ്റെ 1ഉം 2ഉം ഭാഗങ്ങളായി പ്രവർത്തനം ആരംഭിച്ചത്. അതിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ടാണ് തിരുവനന്തപുരം യൂണിയനും എറണാകുളം യൂണിയനും പ്രവർത്തനം ആരംഭിച്ച് മുന്നോട്ട് പോയത് 85കളിൽ. 90ൽ മലബാർ മേഖലാ യൂണിയൻ തുടങ്ങിയെങ്കിൽ അത് നോർത്ത് കേരള ഡയറി പ്രോജക്റ്റിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ മലബാർ മേഖലാ യൂണിയൻ തുടങ്ങിയത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ അമരക്കാരൻ ശ്രീ മിനേഷ് ഷാ എൻ്റെ സുഹൃത്തു കൂടിയാണ്. ഞങ്ങൾ NCDFAയിലെ ഭരണസമിതിയിലെ ബോർഡ് മെമ്പർമാരാണ്. അദ്ദേഹം ശ്രീ മിനീഷ ഇവിടെയുണ്ട്. മറ്റൊന്ന് വളരെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഈ അടുത്ത കാലത്ത് നമ്മളുടെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ സെക്രട്ടറി ആയിട്ട് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്ത വളരെ കുറച്ച് ദിവസങ്ങളായിട്ടുള്ളൂ. അതിനകത്ത് തന്നെ 2 വട്ടം ഞങ്ങൾ കൂടിക്കാഴ്ച നടത്തി. ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ നമ്മളെ പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ വന്നിട്ടുള്ള ശ്രീ പ്രണബ് ജ്യോതിനാഥ് IAS അവർകൾ, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മൾ ഡയറി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെയും AH ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെയും ഡയറക്ടറായിട്ടുള്ള ഡോക്ടർ A കൗശികൻ IAS, മറ്റൊരു വളരെ പ്രമുഖനായിട്ടുള്ള വ്യക്തി ഇന്ത്യൻ ഡയറിയുടെ പുരോഗതിക്ക് വളർച്ചയ്ക്ക് കാര്യമാത്രമായ സംഭാവന നൽകി ദീർഘകാലം അമൂലിൻ്റെ MD എന്ന നിലയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിച്ചതും കഴിഞ്ഞ ഒരു 2 ആഴ്ചയ്ക്ക് മുമ്പാണ് അമൂലിൻ്റെ MD സ്ഥാനത്ത് നിന്ന് പ്രായം ആയതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഒഴിവായത്. കണ്ടാലിപ്പോൾ പ്രായമായതൊന്നും പറയില്ല നമ്മൾ, പക്ഷേ അവിടെ നിൽക്കാൻ കഴിയാതെ പ്രായം കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഒഴിവായി. പക്ഷേ ഇന്ത്യൻ ഡയറി അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെ ചെയർമാൻ എന്നുള്ള നിലയിലാണ് അദ്ദേഹം ഇവിടെ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നത്. മറ്റൊരു പ്രമുഖ വ്യക്തി ഇവിടെയുള്ളത് ശ്രീ രാകേഷ് മോഹൻ ജോഷിയാണ്. അദ്ദേഹം ഡയറക്ടർ ഇന്ത്യൻ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ഓഫ് പ്ലാന്റേഷൻ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് ബാംഗ്ലൂരാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ മിൽമയുടെ ഊർജ്ജസ്വലനായ ചെറുപ്പക്കാരനായ MD ശ്രീ ആസിഫ് K യൂസഫ് ഇവിടെ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ 2 യൂണിയൻ്റെ എൻ്റെ സഹപ്രവർത്തകരായ എറണാകുളം യൂണിയൻ്റെ ചെയർമാൻ ശ്രീ ജയൻ, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ട്രിവാൻഡ്രം യൂണിയൻ്റെ അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്റീവ് കമ്മിറ്റിയുടെ കൺവീനറായിട്ടുള്ള ശ്രീ ഭാസുരാങ്കൻ, ഇവിടുത്തെ IDAയുടെ സൗത്ത് സോൺ പ്രസിഡൻ്റായിട്ടുള്ള എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത സുഹൃത്തു കൂടിയായിട്ടുള്ള ശ്രീ ചാൾസ്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇവിടുത്തെ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയുടെ ഡീനായിട്ടുള്ള ശ്രീ SN രാജ്കുമാർ, അദ്ദേഹം ഇന്ത്യൻ ഡയറി അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെ കേരള ചാപ്റ്ററിൻ്റെ ചെയർമാനാണ്. അതുപോലെ അജിത് കുമാർ, നമ്മളെല്ലാം ഉറ്റ സുഹൃത്താണ്, മലയാളിയാണ്. നമ്മൾ ഇവിടുന്ന് പോയി കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാരിലെ അസിസ്റ്റൻറ്റ് കമ്മീഷണറായിട്ട് അവിടെ പ്രവർത്തിച്ച് നമ്മളുടെ ഒരു അംബാസഡറായിട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ശ്രീ അജിത്ത്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ IDAയുടെ സൗത്ത് സോണിൻ്റെ വൈസ് ചെയർമാൻ കൂടിയായിട്ടുള്ള ഗി വർഗീസ്, നമ്മളുടെ ഈ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാം നമ്മളോടൊപ്പമുള്ള ഗി വർഗീസ്, ഇവിടെ പങ്കെടുത്ത ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ മുൻകൂട്ടി രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്ത് പങ്കെടുത്ത നമ്മളെ ഡയറി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ, അതുപോലെ KLD ബോർഡിൻ്റെ, മൃഗസംരക്ഷണ വകുപ്പിൻ്റെ, മിൽമയുടെ തുടങ്ങി നമ്മളുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട എല്ലാ വകുപ്പുകളുടെയും അനുദ്യോഗസ്ഥരായിട്ടുള്ള സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, എൻ്റെ സഹപ്രവർത്തകരായിട്ടുള്ള അപൂർവം ചില ബോർഡ് മെമ്പർമാർ ഇവിടെ കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. അവരെയും കൂടെ ഈ ഓർമ്മിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഈ പരിപാടി വളരെ കരുത്തുറ്റ ഒരു പരിപാടിയാക്കാനും ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ നടക്കുന്ന ദേശീയ തലത്തിൽ നടക്കുന്ന ക്ഷീരമേഖലയിലെ അടുത്ത ഭാവിയെക്കുറിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച് നമ്മളെ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട സെക്രട്ടറി തന്നെ ഇവിടെ നമ്മളോട് വിശദീകരിക്കും. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ ഭാവി പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച് നമ്മളുടെ ഇവിടുത്തെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ സെക്രട്ടറി തന്നെ നമ്മളോടൊപ്പം ഉണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ അധ്യക്ഷ പ്രസംഗത്തിൽ നമ്മളെ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മന്ത്രി പറയും. ഈ ഡയറി ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി വളർത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് പോകുന്നതിൽ ലോകത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും 1ാം സ്ഥാനത്തേക്ക് ഡയറി ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയെ വളർത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് പോകുന്നതിനും അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമ്മളെല്ലാം മാതൃകയായി എടുക്കുന്ന അമൂൽ എന്ന പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ FMCG കമ്പനിയായി വളർത്തിയെടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞ സാമ്പത്തിക വർഷം 61 കോടി രൂപയുടെ വിറ്റുവരവുണ്ടാക്കി ഇവിടുത്തെ മൾട്ടിനാഷണലെയും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ എല്ലാ സ്വകാര്യ ഈ മേഖലയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നവരെയും ഞെട്ടിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്ന അമൂലിൻ്റെ സാരഥിയായി ദീർഘകാലം പ്രവർത്തിച്ച ശ്രീ സോധി, അങ്ങനെ വലിയ ഒരു പങ്കാളിത്തത്തോടു കൂടിയാണ് ഈ ദേശീയ സെമിനാർ നടക്കുന്നത്. ഒരുപക്ഷെ പക്ഷേ ഇത്രയധികം പങ്കാളിത്തം ഉണ്ടാകുമെന്ന് നമ്മൾ ആലോചിച്ചപ്പോൾ നടത്തിയില്ല. ഭാഗ്യത്തിന് ഇവരെയൊക്കെ ഞാൻ ഫോണിലൊന്ന് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് സംസാരിച്ചപ്പോൾ ആ പ്രധാനികളായിട്ടുള്ള 3-4 പേരും അപ്പം തന്നെ അതിൻ്റെ കൺഫർമേഷൻ തരികയും അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ പരിപാടിയായി മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇന്ന് നടക്കുന്ന ഈ പരിപാടി 2 മണിക്കൂർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 3 മണിക്കൂർ നമ്മൾ നടത്തുന്ന പരിപാടിയിൽ അവരിൽ നിന്നുള്ള ആശയങ്ങൾ ഉൾക്കൊണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് അതിവിടെ പ്രാവർത്തികമാക്കി നമ്മളെ ഡയറി ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയെ ബഹുദൂരം മുന്നോട്ട് നയിക്കാനും നമ്മളെല്ലാം പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നത് ക്ഷീരകർഷകരുടെ പുരോഗതിക്ക് വേണ്ടിയാണ്. ആ പുരോഗതിയും അവരെ നിലനിർത്താനും കൂടുതൽ ആൾക്കാരെ കൊണ്ടുവരാനുമുള്ള പ്രവർത്തനത്തിൽ എല്ലാവരും മുന്നോട്ട് പോകണം എന്ന് മാത്രം ആമുഖമായി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് എന്തായാലും സ്വാഗതം പറയാൻ പറഞ്ഞതുകൊണ്ട് ലെറ്റ് മീ ടേക്ക് ദ പ്ലഷർ ഓഫ് എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡിങ് എ വാം ആൻഡ് കോഡിയം വെൽക്കം ടു അവർ ഹോണറബിൾ മിനിസ്റ്റർ ബിലൗഡ് ജെ ചിഞ്ചുറാണി, our presiding officer of this function, to this August function. As I mentioned earlier, R.K. Singh ji, he needs no introduction here. But due to his busy schedule, he has come all the way from Delhi to attend this function. On behalf of all present here, I extend a warm and cordial welcome to you, sir. Sri Manish ji, he is also very helpful to us for all activities of Milma. Recently, they have spent around 50 lakhs plus to conduct a comprehensive market survey as well as advertisement package, and he is the person to support all these things. More than 60 lakhs, more than 50 or 60 lakhs NTDB has spent for Milma. Thank you very much, and on behalf of all this August gathering, I extend a warm welcome. Our Principal Secretary, he needs no introduction because he is very familiar. He has been in our Kerala service for quite long. He is very dynamic and enthusiastic. When we met couple of times, his vision and he wished to have a comprehensive meeting with all these concerned people very soon to project and plan the activities of dairy sector in 2023-24. And on behalf of the organizing committee, let me take the privilege of extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Sri Kaushigan, perhaps Trachur people very familiar. He was a district collector here earlier, and now he is heading as a director of animal husbandry as well as a director of dairy department. Very silent but very, very aggressive and very effective administrator on behalf of this organizing committee. In fact, it is a part of their program, Kerala Fest Paddavi 23. I extend you a warm welcome to you, sir. Professor Dr. Rakesh Mohan Joshi, he is a director, Indian Institute of Plantation Management, Bangalore. He is also here. He will also share his experiences and his vision in dairy industry. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. As I mentioned earlier, our young and dynamic managing director of Milma, Sri Asif K. Yusuf IAS, he is not only an IAS man, as I said yesterday, I was mentioning that, some of you heard about that, he is basically a technocrat as well as he is an MBA in marketing also. His experience and educational background will definitely help the Milma to move forward in a better way. I extend a warm welcome officially. എൻ്റെ സഹപ്രവർത്തകരായ ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ട്രിവാൻഡ്രം യൂണിയൻ്റെ അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്റീവ് കമ്മിറ്റി കൺവീനർ ഇവിടെ ഭാസുരാങ്കനുണ്ട്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഔപചാരികത പേരിൽ ഞാൻ അദ്ദേഹത്തെ വെൽക്കം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ എറണാകുളം യൂണിയൻ്റെ ചെയർമാൻ ശ്രീ ജയൻ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്. അദ്ദേഹത്തെയും ഞാൻ സാദരം ഇവിടെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ശ്രീ അജിത്ത് ഇവിടെയുണ്ട്. അദ്ദേഹം ഇതിനു വേണ്ടി മാത്രം ഇവിടെ വന്നാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തെ ഈ സംഘാടകർക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുപോലെ നമ്മളിവിടുത്തെ രജിസ്ട്രാർ ശ്രീ സുധീർ ബാബു, നമ്മൾ ഈ പരിപാടികളൊക്കെ നടക്കുന്നതിന് ഹാസ് ബിൻ കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ടിംഗ് വെരി മച്ച് ആൻഡ് ഹെൽപ്പിംഗ് അസ് വെരി വെൽ. ഐ എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് എ വാം വെൽക്കം ടു യു, സർ. Dr. S.N. Rajkumar, as part of IDEA, he is the Kerala chapter chairman. He is also giving almost all advices and support to us. Thank you very much and extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Yeah. Because last but not the least, perhaps almost important person comes last. Because when we are welcoming and the program conducting the program for governors and the president, naturally they will talk last. Similarly, Dr. Soti, I purposefully avoided him initially welcoming. He is real personal contributor to this dairy industry as an MD of Amul, I told earlier. On behalf of all present here, we extend you a warm and cordial welcome. As far as Srodhi is concerned, we make use of his presence here for our students and alumni from 11:30 to 1 o'clock, that his expertise and his knowledge has been shared with them also. Mr. Charles is also here. He is chapter South India IDA chairperson. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. ഇനി സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാറുള്ളത് എൻ്റെ മുമ്പിലിരിക്കുന്ന നിങ്ങളേവരെയുമാണ്. ഇത്രയും വളരെ എന്താ പറയുക, ഗാലക്സി ഓഫ് സ്പീക്കേഴ്സ്, നാഷണൽ ലെവൽ, ദ ടവറിങ് പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റീസ് ആണെന്ന് നമ്മളെ മുമ്പിൽ ഒരുമിച്ച് ഒരേ വേദിയിലിരിക്കുന്നത്. സംഭവത്തിൽ നമ്മളിവിടെ ഇരിക്കുന്ന ക്രൗഡ് വളരെ ചെറുതാണെങ്കിൽ പോലും ഈ ആൾക്കാരുടെ പങ്കാളിത്തം, ഈ ഫാക്കൽറ്റീസിൻ്റെ പങ്കാളിത്തം കൊണ്ട് ഈ നാഷണൽ സെമിനാറിൻ്റെ ഒരു ലെവൽ തന്നെ വല്ലാതെ മാറിപ്പോയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അതിൽ ഇവിടെ പങ്കെടുക്കാനെത്തിയ ഇത് നമുക്ക് മുതൽക്കൂട്ടായി നമ്മളുടെ ഡയറി വികസനത്തിന് കാര്യമായ സംഭാവന ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടി മുന്നിൽ നിന്നും പ്രവർത്തിക്കാൻ തയ്യാറായി ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമ്മൾ NDDBയുടെ പ്രതിനിധികളായിട്ടുള്ള എൻ്റെ സുഹൃത്ത് രാജീവ് ഇവിടെയുണ്ട്, നമ്മുടെ ബോർഡ് മെമ്പറാണ്. അതുപോലെ റോമി ഇവിടെയുണ്ട്. അവർക്കും ഇവിടെ പങ്കെടുത്ത മറ്റ് യൂണിയൻ്റെ 3 MDമാരുണ്ട്. ഇങ്ങനെ പേരെടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞ് സമയം നീട്ടുന്നില്ല, കാരണം ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ കൂടുതൽ സംസാരിക്കുകയല്ല വേണ്ടത്, ഇവരെന്താണോ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കാനാണ് നമ്മളിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് കൂടുതൽ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്നില്ല. ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി എല്ലാവരെയും ഊഷ്മളമായ സ്വാഗതം പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് നിർത്തട്ടെ. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എൻ്റെ അഭിവാദനങ്ങൾ.
Thank you, sir. Sir, actually the hall is not small and the audience is also not small. We have one more hall and all the persons in that hall also listening to this same seminar. Okay, so Srimati J. Chinchurani, Honorable Minister for Dairy Development and Animal Husbandry, Government of Kerala, is presiding this function. She was elected to the 15th Kerala Legislative Assembly from Chadayamangalam constituency of Kollam district. The efforts put forward by Honorable Minister for the welfare of dairy farmers is well appreciated in Kerala. After taking the charge of Dairy Development Ministry, she had effectively implemented many support programs for the welfare of dairy farmers. She is always keen in addressing all type of issues related to dairy farmers. We humbly request you, ma'am, to deliver the presidential address.
ഈ നാഷണൽ സെമിനാർ ഇവിടെ ഔപചാരികമായി ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട നമ്മുടെ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ ആനിമൽ ഹസ്ബൻഡറി ആൻഡ് ഡയറി, മിനിസ്റ്റർ ഓഫ് ഫിഷറീസ്, ആനിമൽ ഹസ്ബൻഡറി, ഗവൺമെൻറ് ഓഫ് ഇന്ത്യയുടെ പ്രിയങ്കരനായ ഹോണറബിൾ സെക്രട്ടറി ശ്രീ രാജേഷ് കുമാർ സിംഗ് IAS അവർകൾ, നമ്മുടെ ഇവിടെ കീനോട്ട് അഡ്രസ് നടത്തുന്ന പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഹോണറബിൾ ചെയർമാൻ കൂടിയായ ശ്രീ നാഷണൽ ഡയറി ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ് ബോർഡിൻ്റെ ശ്രീ മീനേഷ് സി ഷാ അവർകൾ, പ്രിയങ്കരനായ നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ ആനിമൽ ഹസ്ബൻഡറി ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ സെക്രട്ടറി കൂടിയായ ശ്രീ പ്രണാബ് നാഥ് IAS അവർകൾ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട നമ്മുടെ ഡയറക്ടർ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റ് ഓഫ് ആനിമൽ ഹസ്ബൻഡറിയുടെ ഡോക്ടർ A. കൗശികൻ IAS അവർകൾ, പ്രസിഡൻറ്റ് ഇന്ത്യൻ ഡയറി അസോസിയേഷൻ്റെ ഫോർമർ മാനേജിംഗ് ഡയറക്ടർ കൂടിയായ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഡോക്ടർ RS സോദി, പ്രിയങ്കരനായ പ്രൊഫസർ രാകേഷ് മോഹൻ ജോഷി, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട CP ചാൾസ്, കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ മിൽമയുടെ MD കൂടിയായ ശ്രീ ആസിഫ് യൂസഫ് IAS അവർകൾ, കേരളത്തിലെ നമ്മുടെ 3 മേഖലയിലെയും നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയങ്കരായ നമ്മുടെ സ്വാഗത പ്രസംഗകൻ, കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ മിൽമയുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ചെയർമാൻ ശ്രീ KS മണി, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ എറണാകുളം മേഖല ചെയർമാൻ ശ്രീ ജയൻ, അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ തിരുവനന്തപുരം നമ്മുടെ മിൽമയുടെ അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്റീവ് കമ്മിറ്റി ചെയർമാൻ കൂടിയായ ശ്രീ ഭാസുരാങ്ങൻ, ശ്രീ ഗി വർഗീസ്, ശ്രീ അജിത് കുമാർ, കമ്മീഷണർ ഡയറി ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ്, ഡോക്ടർ R.S. സോദി, പ്രസിഡൻറ്റ് ഇന്ത്യൻ ഡയറി അസോസിയേഷൻ, ഫോർമർ മാനേജിംഗ് ഡയറക്ടർ കൂടിയായ അമലിൻ്റെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഡോക്ടർ, അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഡോക്ടർ S.N. രാജ്കുമാർ ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള നമ്മുടെ ഈ വേദിയിൽ വ്യത്യസ്തങ്ങളായിട്ടുള്ള വിവിധങ്ങളായിട്ടുള്ള വകുപ്പുകളിൽ ഒക്കെ വന്ന ഉന്നതരായിട്ടുള്ള പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റിൻ്റെ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥരെ, നമ്മുടെ ഈ ദേശീയ സെമിനാറിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുവാൻ നമ്മുടെ ഈ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്നും അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ മറ്റ് ഇതര സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നും എത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, സഹോദരി സഹോദരങ്ങളെ, പത്രമാധ്യമ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിൽ സംസ്ഥാന ക്ഷീരസംഗമം പടവ് 2023 എന്ന പേരിലാണ് നമ്മൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ 5 ദിവസമായി ഇവിടെ വ്യത്യസ്തങ്ങളായിട്ടുള്ള കർഷകരുടെ സെമിനാറുകൾ, മാധ്യമ പ്രവർത്തകരുടെ സെമിനാറുകൾ, മുഖാമുഖം പരിപാടി, അദാലത്ത്, അങ്ങനെ നിരവധിയായിട്ടുള്ള പരിപാടികൾ ആവിഷ്കരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് വളരെ ബൃഹത്തായ നിലയിൽ നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിൽ ഈ സംസ്ഥാന ക്ഷീരസംഗമം വിജയിപ്പിക്കുക എന്നതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ നമ്മളിന്ന് മുന്നോട്ട് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. നമുക്കറിയാം, ഇത് മുമ്പ് ഉള്ളതിനേക്കാളും വളരെ മെച്ചമായി നമുക്ക് ഇത് പ്രത്യേകിച്ചും തൃശ്ശൂരിൽ വെറ്റിനറി യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി ക്യാമ്പസിൽ വെച്ച് നമുക്കിത് സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുവാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞത് വളരെ അഭിമാനപൂർവ്വം നാം ഓർക്കുകയാണ്. കാരണം കേരളത്തിലെ അങ്ങോളം ഇങ്ങോളമുള്ള 10,000-കണക്കിന് കർഷകരാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ ക്ഷീരസംഗമത്തിൽ വന്ന് പോയിക്കൊണ്ട് ഈ പരിപാടികളിലൊക്കെ തന്നെ പങ്കെടുക്കും. നമ്മുടെ പാലിൽ സ്വയം പര്യാപ്തത കൈവരിക്കുക എന്നുള്ള ഒരു വലിയ ലക്ഷ്യത്തോടു കൂടിയാണ് കേരളത്തിലെ ഗവൺമെൻറ് ഇപ്പോൾ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്നത്. ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ ലോക ജനതയെ ആകർഷിച്ച ഇന്ത്യയിലെ ധവള വിപ്ലവത്തിൻ്റെ ഈറ്റില്ലമാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഗുജറാത്തിലെ ആനന്ദ്. ആ ആനന്ദിൽ ആരംഭിച്ച ഈ വിപ്ലവം ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ഫ്ലഡ് എന്ന പദ്ധതിയിലൂടെ ഇന്ത്യയിലെ എല്ലാ സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങളിലുമായി വ്യാപിപ്പിക്കപ്പെടുകയും അങ്ങനെ ലോകത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ പാലുൽപാദന രാജ്യമെന്ന ബഹുമതി നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യം കൈവരിക്കുകയുണ്ടായി. ഈ ധവള വിപ്ലവത്തിൻ്റെ ശില്പിയാകട്ടെ ലോകപ്രശസ്തനായ ഡോക്ടർ വർഗീസ് കുര്യൻ എന്ന കോഴിക്കോട്ടുകാരനായ മലയാളിയും ഏറെ പിന്നോക്കം നിന്നിരുന്നതും സ്വകാര്യ കച്ചവടക്കാരുടെ ചൂഷണത്തിന് വിധേയമായി കഴിഞ്ഞിരുന്നതുമായ ഗുജറാത്തിലെ ക്ഷീര കർഷകരെ സഹായിക്കുക എന്നതിനായി അദ്ദേഹം കർഷകർക്ക് വേണ്ടി കർഷകൻ തന്നെ നയിക്കുന്ന ത്രിതല സഹകരണ സംവിധാനം രൂപപ്പെടുത്തി. ഇങ്ങനെ ക്ഷീരകർഷകർ അവരുടെ സ്വന്തം ബ്രാൻഡ് നാമത്തിൻ്റെ പേരിൽ അവരുടെ സ്വന്തം ഈ മിൽമ വിപണിയിലെ എല്ലാ സാധ്യതകളും നേരിട്ട് അനുഭവിക്കുവാനുള്ള ഒരു സ്ഥിതി സംജാതമാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ പ്രതിവർഷം 209 മില്യൺ മെട്രിക് ടൺ പാൽ ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ട്. കേരളം വലിപ്പത്തിൽ ചെറിയ സംസ്ഥാനമായതിനാൽ പാൽ ഉൽപ്പാദനത്തിൻ്റെ കാര്യത്തിൽ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ 14ാം സ്ഥാനമാണ് നമുക്കുള്ളത്. ഇന്ത്യയിലെ മൊത്തം പാൽ ഉൽപ്പാദനത്തിലേക്ക് കേരളം വളരെ ചെറിയ അളവ് മാത്രമേ സംഭാവന ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ. എങ്കിലും കേരളത്തിലെ പാലുൽപാദനം സ്വയം പര്യാപ്തിയിലേക്ക് അടുക്കുകയാണ്. പാലുൽപാദന വർധനവിന് ആവശ്യമായ എല്ലാ പദ്ധതികളും കേരള സർക്കാർ ആസൂത്രണം ചെയ്യുകയും നടപ്പിലാക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. 1980കളിൽ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ഫ്ലഡ് പദ്ധതി കേരളത്തിൽ ആരംഭിച്ചപ്പോൾ തിരുവനന്തപുരം, എറണാകുളം മേഖലകൾ മാത്രമാണ് ഇതിനായി തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കപ്പെട്ടത്. മലബാർ ക്ഷീരോത്പാദനത്തിന് ഒട്ടും അനുയോജ്യമായ ഇടമായി അന്ന് പരിഗണിക്കപ്പെട്ടിരുന്നില്ല. പിന്നീട് സ്വിസ് സാമ്പത്തിക സഹായത്തോടെ ഉത്തര കേരള ക്ഷീര പദ്ധതിയുടെ ഭാഗമായി 1990കളിൽ മലബാർ യൂണിയൻ ആരംഭിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ മൊത്തം പാലുൽപാദനത്തിൻ്റെ പകുതി ഭാഗവും മലബാറിൽ നിന്നാണ് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത്. നമ്മുടെ കാർഷിക മേഖലയുടെ നട്ടെല്ലാണ് ക്ഷീരമേഖല. കഴിഞ്ഞ 2 പതിറ്റാണ്ടായി ലോകരാജ്യങ്ങളിലെല്ലാം പിന്തള്ളിക്കൊണ്ട് പാലുൽപാദനത്തിൽ 1ാം സ്ഥാനത്തുള്ളത് നമ്മുടെ ഭാരതമാണ്. ക്ഷീരമേഖലയിലെ ഈ എടുത്തു പറയത്തക്ക വളർച്ച കേരളത്തിന് കൈവരിക്കാൻ സാധിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത് പാലിന് സ്ഥിര വില വിപണിയിൽ ഇന്ന് നിലനിർത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാരും ക്ഷീര സഹകരണ പ്രസ്ഥാനമായ മിൽമയും യോജിച്ച് നടത്തുന്ന പ്രവർത്തന മികവ് കൊണ്ടാണ് കേരളത്തിലെ ക്ഷീര വ്യവസായത്തിന് സ്ഥിരോത്സാഹത്തിൻ്റെയും അധ്വാനത്തിൻ്റെയും നവീകരണത്തിൻ്റെയും സംഭവ ബഹുലമായ ഒരു ചരിത്രമുണ്ട്. അത് സംസ്ഥാനത്തിൻ്റെ സാമൂഹിക സാമ്പത്തിക വികസനത്തെയും കേരളത്തിലെ കർഷകരുടെ ക്ഷേമത്തെയും വളരെയധികം സ്വാധീനിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. കാർഷികോൽപ്പന്നങ്ങളുടെ ദൈനംദിന ആവശ്യങ്ങൾ നിറവേറ്റുന്നതിനായി കേരളം അതിൻ്റെ അയൽ സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങളെ ഗണ്യമായി ആശ്രയിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിലും കേരളത്തിലെ പാലുൽപാദനം സ്വയം പര്യാപ്തത കൈവരിക്കുന്നതിൻ്റെ വക്കിലാണ്. കേരളത്തിലെ സാഹചര്യങ്ങൾ പൊതുവെ കൃഷിയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്രതികൂലമാണെങ്കിലും സംസ്ഥാനത്ത് ക്ഷീര വ്യവസായം വിജയകരമായി മുന്നേറുകയാണ്. തടസ്സങ്ങൾക്കിടയിലും ഈ മേഖല ക്ഷീര കർഷകർക്ക് കാര്യമായ പിന്തുണ നൽകിയും ഉപഭോക്താക്കളുടെ ആവശ്യങ്ങൾ നിറവേറ്റുന്നതിനായി നൂതന സാങ്കേതിക ഇടപെടലുകളും ഉൽപ്പന്ന വൈവിധ്യവൽക്കരണവും കൊണ്ടുവരികയും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇന്ത്യൻ ക്ഷീരമേഖലയിലെ പ്രമുഖർ കേന്ദ്ര സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാരുകളുടെ മുതിർന്ന നയരൂപകർത്താക്കൾ എന്നിവർ ആണ് ഇന്ന് ഈ ദേശീയ സെമിനാറിന് നേതൃത്വം നൽകുന്നത്. കേരളത്തിലെമ്പാടുമുള്ള ക്ഷീര സഹകരണ പ്രസ്ഥാനത്തിൻ്റെ അക്കാദമിക് വിദഗ്ധർ, പ്രൊഫഷണലുകൾ, സംരംഭകർ, കർഷക നേതാക്കൾ എന്നിവർ സെമിനാറിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഈ സെമിനാറിലൂടെ ഉരുത്തിരിഞ്ഞു വരുന്ന ആശയങ്ങൾ നടപ്പിലാക്കുക വഴി കേരളത്തിലെ ക്ഷീരമേഖലയുടെ കൂടുതൽ വളർച്ച ഇനിയും നമുക്ക് നേരിട്ട് കാണേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. കേരളത്തിലെ ക്ഷീരമേഖലയിലെ പ്രധാന ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥരും അക്കാദമിക് വിദഗ്ധരും പ്രൊഫഷണൽസും ഈ മേഖലയുടെ മുന്നോട്ടുള്ള പ്രയാണത്തിൽ നൂതന ആശയങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടുവരികയും അവ സമയബന്ധിതമായി നടപ്പിലാക്കുവാൻ നേതൃത്വം നൽകുകയും ചെയ്യണം. സംസ്ഥാന ക്ഷീരസംഗമം പടവ് 2023 അനുബന്ധിച്ച് ക്ഷീരവികസന വകുപ്പും മിൽമയും ഇന്ത്യൻ ഡയറി അസോസിയേഷനും സംയുക്തമായി സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഈ ദേശീയ സെമിനാറിൽ എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഊർജ്ജസ്വലമായ പങ്കാളിത്തം ഉണ്ടാകണമെന്നും ഈ മേഖലയിലെ പ്രഗത്ഭരായ ആളുകളുടെ ആശയങ്ങളും അനുഭവ പാഠങ്ങളും ഉൾക്കൊണ്ട് ക്ഷീര മേഖലയുടെ ഉണർവിനായി ഒരുമിച്ച് പ്രവർത്തിക്കാം എന്നറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് എൻ്റെ എല്ലാവിധമായ ആശംസകളും നേർന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, ma'am. The organizers of the seminar is very much fortunate with the presence of respected Sri Rajesh Kumar Singh, IAS, the Secretary, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Government of India. He is 1989 Kerala cadre IAS officer and very good friend of Kerala because of his long experience in numerous capacities of administration. He is actually a native of Bihar, had earlier served as District Collector of Malappuram, Commissioner of Commercial Taxes, Joint Commissioner of Revenue Department, Special Officer of NORCA, Secretary, Ports and Local Self-Government Department, Additional Director of Kerala Tourism Department, Secretary of Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development Department, and Additional Chief Secretary of Finance Department. We are extremely overwhelmed to invite Sri Rajesh Kumar Singh, IAS, to inaugurate this seminar organized with the participation of all eminent personalities in dairy sector. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. I'll speak in a mix of Malayalam and English so that everybody understands. First of all, ഈ വലിയ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്ത എല്ലാ സ്റ്റേക്ക് ഹോൾഡേഴ്സിനെയും ഓർഗനൈസേഴ്സിനെയും ഞാൻ അഭിനന്ദിക്കുന്നു. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി ലാർജ് ആൻഡ് വെൽ അറ്റൻഡഡ് പ്രോഗ്രാം ആൻഡ് ഐ ഹോപ്പ് ഇറ്റ് വിൽ give a boost to your thinking about what to do in this sector for the future. When we speak about Kerala, generally in Delhi, we always say that in animal husbandry and dairying, there are three states which are performing the best: Uttarakhand, Haryana, and Kerala. And we say that because compared to other states, your dairy sector is quite modern. You have over 90% crossbred cattle, very little of nondescript cattle. Even though overall production is small, but it is, you are approaching self-sufficiency now. I think you are close to 90%. So in this address, before the Honorable Minister, before my key department friends, stakeholders, NDDB Chairman, Mr. Sodhi, all my erstwhile colleagues whom I'm happy to see again after a lapse of almost 3 years, I'll talk about the national priorities in this sector, where we are going, what are the challenges, and what we can do in this area together. As all of you are aware, as people have said earlier also, the sector is growing at about 7.5–8% in the last 6 years, whereas the world dairy output is growing at about 2%, and even India's general agriculture output is only growing at 2%. So it's a fast-growing sector. We are approaching, we are of course the largest producer in the world, and increasingly as our production grows, we will have to look for export markets to get value for our increasing production. Per capita availability is now approaching over 400 grams per day, but in Kerala it is still low. It's about 200 grams, maybe because of dietary patterns also. I don't think liquid milk is so much part of the diet, but nonetheless, we are approaching self-sufficiency even in Kerala during my time, and I'm sure we'll achieve it soon. If you see the challenges in this sector, what are the issues? One of the issues, of course, is that there is going to be increasing demand for dairy products, not just for liquid milk. As we go for, as our economy grows, we have higher disposable income, a fast-growing middle class. There will be a higher demand for various types of value-added dairy products. There is also a challenge in some, which may be far-fetched, but there are some startups who are trying to do, just as they are trying to do synthetic milk, they are trying to do synthetic meat, they are trying to do synthetic milk as well, lab-grown milk. It's a challenge for the future. It may not actually come to anything, but it's important to keep it in mind. In India, our problem is primarily one of productivity enhancement. Our productivity per year on an average is below the world average of 2,600 kilos per year. It's only about 1,924 kilos per year. The average yield of an Indian cow is only about 4 kilos per day against a world average of 6.4. Less than 20% of our cattle are crossbred, and I'm talking about the country. Kerala, of course, has a much higher crossbred population. There is a tremendous scope in this sector for expanding the organized sector. Even now, only 25% of our milk is getting processed. There's huge scope, even after the expansion of the cooperative movement through the Blue Revolution, through the Operation Floods. There is still tremendous scope. 75% of our milk is still unprocessed. That's an area where we really need to work, even in Kerala. There is a need to expand value-added and processed dairy products by invest in cold chain infrastructure. And increasingly, we need to focus on sustainability because there is a growing awareness about climate change, about sustainability, and we need to take steps to ensure that our nutritional inputs are such that we reduce the carbon footprint of this industry. If you look at the national programs now, initially we were focused largely on the cooperative movement and the dairy sector. Bulk of our programming went there. And of course, it has yielded rich dividends. But now we are also trying to promote the private sector through entrepreneurship programs, including in the animal husbandry sector, where we are providing up to 50% capital subsidy, 2 crore per farm, for private entrepreneurs to procure high-quality heifers or milch animals from their local areas. I don't know if Kerala has, I think 1 or 2 applications have come from Kerala also in this area. I hope more will come. In terms of making technology accessible to our farmers, our focus now has to shift not only from AI, but also to more cutting-edge technologies like IVF and ETT. Kerala has an IVF lab here under KLDB. I think some cows have have been grown there, and now we need to take it to the mainstream. And one of the things that I wanted to say is that we will provide a mobile van for specialized IVF services at the local level to KLDB as part of this, as part of the National Program on Dairy Development, so that this technology of IVF and ETT, which is a little expensive, but which we should make it available to progressive farmers, because that provides us improvement in genetic potential in one generation as compared to say 20, 21 generations through normal technologies. We also need to do much more with sex-sorted semen in our country to reduce the, both to improve milk yield and to limit the stray cattle population in the country. And finally, in the area of genomic selection, a DNA chip has been developed by NDDB and by other players like NBAGR, and we hope to use that for undertaking genomic selection of indigenous breeds in the future. As I mentioned, we are trying to provide doorstep services to farmers through the National Artificial Insemination Program, which is not very relevant for Kerala because you've already got over 90%, whereas the target for the rest of the country is only 50%. Along with that, we have provided over 4,000 mobile veterinary units to all states to provide health services at the doorstep of the farmers. Kerala has also just launched its 29 mobile veterinary units. I hope we can give more. And we should look at other value-added ways of using that, because the other day in Andhra Pradesh, I saw mobile veterinary units where the state has added its own additional money and put in hydraulic lifts in the vehicle so that they are able to, bring out, lift up the animal from the farm and bring it for inpatient treatment if required to the veterinary units and then deliver it back as well. There is also increasing focus on enhancing credit flow to our dairy farmers. A lot of Kisan credit cards have been issued to dairy farmers in the country, and in the current year's budget, our Union Finance Minister has announced an enhanced credit allocation for this sector with special focus on animal husbandry and fisheries sector. Finally, I want to mention that over the last few years, we are doing a large-scale vaccination program in the country, particularly for FMD, where Kerala is one of the leading players. It has done 2 rounds already. It is doing the 3rd round now. Along with that, we are providing tags to all the animals and trying to provide these tags with unique numbers, which are then registered on an integrated database called INAF, which is being maintained by the NDDB. But in the future, what we want to do with that database is that using INAF as the base, we want to do what we call a National Digital Livestock Mission, which is now at the pilot stage in Uttarakhand. The intention is that all our animals should be trackable and traceable. Their data, including the health data, should be available on this national database. The Tata Consultancy Services is doing that with us, and we are being assisted by the same team of iSpirit volunteers who did the UDAI Aadhaar for the human Aadhaar database. The intention is this pilot is running very well in Uttarakhand, and as part of it, we are already using the system for providing e-prescriptions from the veterinary surgeons, test results from the laboratories, and also an integrated call center application. 4 districts of Uttarakhand are doing it now. In March, we will launch it in whole of Uttarakhand, and in April, the intention is to launch it throughout the country. That is the one unique initiative, which is, incidentally, I don't think any other country in the world is doing this kind of a large-scale digital tracking database services to farmers, which will provide both health services and also help in disease surveillance and things like that. So this is going to be a unique project, and I'm sure Kerala, with almost close to 100% tagging, our farmers, our veterinarians, our departmental officers our laboratories can also take full advantage of that NDLM comprehensive app once it is rolled out, hopefully by April of this year. that is broadly what I wanted to say at the, in terms of the national priorities. I also wanted to say that you have a director of animal husbandry and dairy who's himself a vet. You have the MD of Milma, who's a technical and marketing professional as well, and you have your new secretary is an economics postgraduate. So you have a very good team, and I'm sure Kerala dairy sector will see even higher successes in the future, and your share in the overall milk market of the country and in terms of value-added products and exports will keep growing up, and will ensure that India's dairy sector continues to be a beacon for the entire world. Thank you very much for organizing this program, and നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ അഭിവാദ്യങ്ങൾ ആശംസകൾ.
Thank you, sir. It's highly kind of you to, sir, inaugurate this national seminar, Indian Dairy Industry Vision 2030. Thank you once again, sir. Now it's time for the keynote address delivering by Sri Minesh C. Shah, Chairman of NDDB. Sri Minesh C. Shah completed his BSc degree in Dairy Technology from Sheth MC College of Dairy Science, Anand, and later he secured a postgraduate diploma in Rural Management from IRMA, Anand. He has multi-dimensional experience in the dairy sector for more than 35 years in research and development, product and process development, project appraisal and finance, cooperative service and project management of National Dairy Plan. He is also on the governing boards of NDDB Dairy Sciences, IDMC Limited, National Cooperative Dairy Federation of India Limited, and Mother Dairy Fruit and Vegetable Private Limited. He is the member secretary of Indian National Committee of International Dairy Federation and also member of Standing Committee on Dairy Policy and Economics of International Dairy Federation. We, the organizing committee of the national seminar, is very much happy to request you, sir, to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Srimati J. Chinchurani ji, Honorable Minister of Animal Husbandry, Dairy Development, Government of Kerala. Honorable Sri Rajesh Kumar Singh ji, Secretary, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Government of India. Sri Pranab Jyoti Nath ji, Secretary, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Government of Kerala. Dr. A. Kosijan, Director, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Dr. R.S. Sodi, President of Indian Dairy Association. Dr. Rakesh Mohan Joshi, Director of Indian Institute of Plantation Management. Sri K.S. Maniji, Chairman Milma. Sri Asif K. Yusuf, Managing Director Milma. Sri M.T. Jain, Chairman Ernakulam Milk Union. Chairman and MDs of other milk unions of Milma. Sri C.P. Charles, Chairman IDA South Zone. All the officers of Milma, NDDB, Department of Animal Husbandry, both Government of India and Kerala, professors from the Dairy Science College and Veterinary College, other distinguished guests, participants of this national seminar. It was a great pleasure when I received a call from Sri Maniji to confirm whether I'll be able to join for this national seminar on Indian Dairy Industry Vision 2030. And since it was very close to my heart, this subject, I immediately confirmed on the telephone itself. And I'm thankful that such a workshop is being organized by Department of Dairy Development, Government of Kerala, Milma, Kerala Veterinary and Animal Science University, IDA Kerala chapter, and all other associated agencies. So thank you all the organizers for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts on the Vision 2030. Let me begin by just posing a small question that what should be our nation's vision for dairying? And it's only about the milk production and sectorial growth, as we all talk about. I think the answer is no. What we want as a sector from here is, I think, nation's vision for dairying should have the prominent focus on the milk producers. And unless we actually appreciate the hard work and the investment of millions of women and men which has actually made our country self-sufficient and largest milk producer in the world, I think we will not be able to, strive the mission, or our dairy economy will thrive as long as our farmer milk producer also thrive. As we know, India is the 5th largest economy in the world, and it's also poised to become 3rd largest economy by 2030. And it's also committed to attain this position or this growth through the inclusiveness and which is sustainable. If we see the holding of bovines or holding of land and compare, we will observe that perhaps the bovine resource or the animal holding by the farmers is much more equitable as compared to the land holding. And that is I think, one encouragement for the dairy sector, because it gives a very great welfare footprint or ensures a greater social equity in our country. And therefore, I think the dairying has a significant role to add to the inclusiveness and the sustained growth of our country by being more productive, more sustainable, also the remunerative and climate resilient. So while we are all proud that what we have achieved since independence, as everybody told, we are the largest milk producer in the world. We hold actually 23% of the milk produced in the world is produced by our country. And if we are almost matching all the global standards or the quality standards of milk and milk products. So the major actions which are required or major aspects which we need to consider before we actually planned a vision for 2030, there are 5 major areas which I would highlight. The first is the animal productivity. I think Secretary Sir also focused on the same. The second is the quality of milk and milk products, or the shelf life of pasteurized milk if we compare to the developed nation. Third is the export potential in dairy. Now, having achieved this self-sufficiency, can we look in the coming decade for improving our exports of milk and milk products? And again, as Secretary Sir said, the share of organized sector. How can we improve the share of the organized sector? And last thing is the sustainability or environment sustainability by way of net zero dairying. In animal productivity, I think, again, we are the largest milk producer, and we are also holding the largest bovines in the world. As earlier speakers also told, our average productivity of animal is about 4 to 5 kg per animal, as against almost 20 kg per animal in the developed dairying nation. Currently, we are exploiting hardly 70% of the genetic potential which the animals have. And as a vision, I think we'll have to reach at least 90% of the genetic potential we'll have to exploit if we have to improve the productivity of animals. And in that, there is a role for breeding, there is a role for nutrition. In breeding, NDLM, I think, again, Secretary Sir has discussed, there are various efforts which are made by the Government of India under the Rashtriya Gokul Mission scheme. Many of them are implemented by NDDB, and I think all the states should take more and more advantage to participate in some of the breeding programs like ET-IVF, or maybe the genomic selection of the bulls and genomic selection of the cows for the beneficiaries, extensive use of sex-sorted semen, and upgrading our low-yielding non-descript bovines. I think Kerala doesn't have that problem, but many other states, we have large number of non-discrete bovines. So how do we upgrade them? Along with the breeding applications, the scientific feeding is, I think, one thing which is required. So specialized feeds during different phases of milk production cycle, like you have a separate pregnancy feed, early lactation feed, or feed for improving the fertility, or the calf starter. these are some of the feed alternatives which we'll have to look along with the proper application of maybe green fodder and dry fodder or the silage in the feed of the animals. The second aspect which I told was about the quality of milk and milk products. Just to give some example, the pasteurized milk what we buy from the market in India has a shelf life of 48 hours. That means 2 days. In most of the developed nations, if you see, the shelf life given for pasteurized milk is 14 days. Now there is a large gap which we, I think, need to travel. We will have to improve the shelf life, and only way we can improve this shelf life of milk and milk products is following the clean milk production programs, so that our raw milk quality improves in terms of bacterial quality or in terms of chemical quality. I think that is one of the important things which we'll have to see. How do we avoid adulteration in the milk? How do we improve the quality of milk, especially microbiological quality, and implement some of the clean milk programs? Large number of now equipments are available. Our milk procurement chain is almost digitized. So can we improve the usage of automatic milk collection units, or most of our milk come through the bulk milk coolers at the village level? And apart from that, our plants, I think they need to get certification like ISO 22000 or FSSC 22000, so that we are sure that the processes we follow in the dairy plants are also certified, and it can be implemented across the dairy value chain to improve the quality of milk. The third aspect which I told is the export potential of milk and milk products. So in spite of being largest milk producer in the world, I think Dr. Sodi will tell that our share in the global dairy export is less than 1%. And it's time that I think by 2030, let us have a modest target of at least 5% or 10% of the world market can be captured by Indian processors. So that is one thing which is very, very important. What can be done? We have seen there are challenges in terms of non-tariff measures, unattractive prices maybe, and there is also a trust deficit between the Indian exporters and the overseas buyers. So these are some of the areas I think we need to work on. We can even think of having a dairy export zones, like all other industries now have a special export zones. Can we think of dairy export zone, have some barriers like traceability or quality management or disease-free area? How do we tackle some of these areas, and we could have a common platform which can create the engagement of all the stakeholders, whether it is private dairy players or cooperative dairy players, and we can involve both buyers and sellers and promote the export of milk and milk products. There are some countries which we have issued sanitary and phytosanitary notifications. They issue these from time to time, with the help of other WTO members. So these are actually multidisciplinary notifications which we need to study well. We should have a mechanism in place, which can be developed for effective handling of this SPS notification. So I think we'll have to see the overseas market expansion. If not immediately, I think what we can do in short term is to look at the nearby markets. We have huge potential in the our neighboring countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. I think these are some of the areas which are low hanging fruits which we can immediately tap, and then gradually we improve exports in the countries like maybe Indonesia, Oman, or Japan. The fourth one, which was I think also explained by the Secretary Sir, is the share of organized sector. As of now, our organized dairy sector's share is just 25 to 30% of the marketable surplus which we have in the country. And if we have to provide safe and quality milk to the consumers, and also a good market access to the producers also, I think we need to improve the coverage of the organized shares. Both Government of India and NDDB, we are taking some concerted efforts to improve the marketing share of the cooperatives. We are also actually supporting the cooperatives and the private dairy processors for upgrading the infrastructure under various schemes like DIDF, AHIDF, and also NPDT. And with this, I think, with all these efforts and also providing some direct credit lending to the farmers and other dairy organizations, I think we will be able to have a larger share by the organized players in the total dairy sector. And last thing, I think the important is the environmental sustainability. So as we have the largest number of animals, we are also blamed as a country that we also are responsible for emission of greenhouse gas emissions, because animals emit methane gas. We have all heard about the recent meeting on the climate change and intergovernmental panel on the climate change. They told that if we don't take immediate action, I think the global average temperature can rise almost by 3 to 4% at the end of this century. And we know what impact it will have on all of us. So to mitigate this, I think we'll have to see that we achieve the goal which is set up by most of the countries for net zero greenhouse gas emission. The world has set a target of 2050. We have also committed that we will achieve net zero GHG target by 2070. And since dairying is, I think, one of the major contributor by the way of entering fermentation of our animals, let us, I think, all stakeholders work together through various initiatives, like productivity enhancement is one of the important initiatives. Manure management, whether we can make use of dung as the source of fuel and fertilizer, or having the feed production and on-farm energy use. I think these are some of the sustainable practices which will help us to reduce the greenhouse gas emission, and consequently, I think we will achieve the net zero target, net zero greenhouse gas targets by 2070. So, concludingly, I think I would say that all these measures will provide an enabling environment for future growth of our sector in the country, and it will also contribute to strengthening the livelihood opportunity which we provide to millions of men and women dairy farmers, mainly smallholders and marginal producers, and it will form the majority of India's milk production system. Like the seminar which we have today, I think we'll have to meet often, and the concentrated efforts of all these stakeholders together will help us to achieve some of these goals which I have highlighted. Thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Now we are moving on to the first presentation on state government policy for dairy development. The new Secretary of Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development, Sri Pranab Jodhinath IAS. He belongs to 2005 batch of IAS cadre and has very good work experience in the administration of various departments of Kerala. We gladly welcome you, sir, to deliver the presentation on state government policies for dairy development in Kerala.
Honorable Minister Madam, respected Union Secretary Sir, Chairman, Honorable Chairman National Dairy Development Board, Sri Ministry Sa, Chairman Milma Sri Maniji, Dr. R.S. Sodi, my colleague officer Dr. Kosigan and Asif, and each and everyone present here. So I have been asked to detail about how dairy sector is moving in Kerala towards 2030. So as all of you know that the productivity has gone in a very positive way in Kerala, and we have 10.2 liter animal per day, per animal per day we have reached, which is second in the country next to Punjab. In the coming years, the state has given enough importance in terms of the production component so that we can increase the productivity further in a more responsible way. And how we can do that? So one is we have been trying to do work on the feed quality as well as in the fodder issue, because as you know, the fodder shortage is one of the major issue that we face in our sector, dairy sector in Kerala. So how we can quality as well as the quantity of food, how we can increase, how can we can sectoral push we can give along with our PSUs as well as also increasing the production with better quality feed. We also want to improve the systemic improvement by bringing management, innovation and technology in the dairy sector. Also working, streamlining the existing departments, two departments which are mainly involved in the dairy segment, that is animal husbandry and dairy development. How we can streamline the works, we are trying to, through technology, like we are trying measures like e-Samriddhi and also Kshirasri portal, how we can bring more streamlining in the various kind of services we are providing to our farmers, how we can streamline it, we are trying to work on it. Also like maximization of productivity, we are trying how we can get interval between the milking hours, etc. We will be working into it. We are also working very aggressively in the vaccination drive, vaccination campaign, as Secretary Sir has mentioned. Universal insurance is one of the key area that we'll be focusing on. How we can accelerate from the self-employment to the entrepreneurship model can be brought about in the dairy sector. That will be one of the measures thrust, so that there has been a huge attrition being observed in the dairy sector. How we can address this issue. So government's policy will be definitely how maximum investment also can be brought in bringing entrepreneurial motive to the dairy sector. We also, how disease surveillance mechanism can be made stronger. Also the assets with the various kind of how we can best utilize the assets available with the department. Modernization of the existing assets as well as the various farms, various breeding centers, all these initiatives, how we can best modernize over a period of time to bring more result, to maximize output. Also along with the growth of technology, how we can gradually move to the concept of virtual farms, how this kind of concepts can be in bringing the farmers in a more structured way to the service that the departments are providing. Also, government has specific drive for the Ati Daridram, that is, who are the poorest of the poor, how dairy sector actually can be conversed to the best benefit to this segment of the population. So government has been working, and the dairy sector will be having a direct trust in that segment, in that area. Kshiragramam Paddhati, that is, which is one of the scheme of the dairy development department, will be also expanded. So along with that also our major trust will be, as Chairman Sir has mentioned, also this eco-sustainability as well as conservation of the indigenous breeds will be one of the major trust in the dairy sector. So we really want the benefits provided by the government, how best it can be accounted, also it reaches the farmer, as well as it brings productivity and outcome in the entire sector for the benefit of the dairy farmers at large. And department will be working coordinately, animal husbandry, dairy department, Milma, and all sister components starting from Kerala Livestock Development Board, Kerala Feeds, how all of them can be actually working together to bring more synergy into the dairy sector. Such kind of concerted effort will be brought forward in the government, and we'll be trying to move further and in terms of not only in terms of quantity, quality and output and outcome in the dairy sector as Vision 2030. So this much that I want to say, and we need support from all technical institutions including NDDB, who will be constantly helping us in articulating our dreams as well as to reaching those dreams in the near future. I thank once again all of you for providing me and my entire team the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for detailing the government policies and plans for the dairy development. Next presentation is on state government policy for dairy development by Dr. A. Kaushik in IAS. Pardon, sir? That is already done? Yeah, fine, sir. Fine. Okay. Okay, so we are moving on to the special address. We feel honored and privileged to have Dr. Rupita Singh Sodhi, President of Indian Dairy Association, to give away the special address on this occasion. He hardly needs any introduction and is well recognized figure in Indian dairy sector. Sodhi sir was the Managing Director of Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation or Amul since 2010 to a few years back. Amul is India's largest food producing organization with annual group turnover of more than 62,000 crores. Dr. R.S. Sodhi has 40 years of rich experience in leading and developing cooperative sector of Indian dairy industry, having served for dairy farmers in several capacities. He led Amul to its current infrastructure and enabling the organization to maintain and enhance its leadership status with the Indian dairy industry. Dr. Sodhi is a board member of International Dairy Federation, and he is also the chairperson of National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management. For more than 3 decades, Dr. Sodhi had the fortune to work under the direct guidance and mentorship of Dr. Verghese Kurian, and has ensured that values cherished by Dr. Kurian, such as integrity, dedication, courage, honesty, commitment to farmers and to consumers, remained deeply ingrained in the culture of organization. We are much delighted to welcome Dr. Rupita Singh Sodhi, President of IDA, to deliver the special address of the seminar.
Thank
Sir,
you.
please.
Thank you. Namaskar. Good afternoon. The president of today's seminar, Honorable Shrimati J. Chinchurani ji, Shri Rajesh Kumar Singh ji, Secretary Animal Husbandry Dairy, Shri K.S. Mani, the Chairman of IMNA, on his personal invitation, I am present here before you. Shri Minesh Shah ji, my colleague, my old friend, the Chairman of NDDB from Anand. We are both from Anand. Shri Parnab Jyoti ji Nath, we heard just him about the Kerala dairy sector. Dr. A. Kavasikan ji, and my other colleague speakers, Professor Rakesh Monjoshi ji, Shri C.P. Charles, the Chairman of IDA South Zone, Shri Asif Yusuf, the young dynamic Managing Director of Milma, all the Managing Director of Kerala Milk Unions, all the members of Kerala Dairy Development Departments, Veterinary Departments, all the faculty and everybody of Kerala Veterinary University, all the officials of Milma, invited media, and all the lovely audience physically present here and also virtually connected. We can see your faces. What are you doing? Well, the theme selected by for today's national seminar by the various stakeholders of Kerala, Veterinary University, Milma, Dairy Development Board, and IDA South Zone, I think is very, very appropriate. And this is the theme which is showing us future. Future for not only India, future for Bharat, future for rural Bharat. I mean, the Indian dairy industry vision for 2030 is the vision what India has got for everybody. And when we talk dairy, I think all the stakeholders of dairy industry sitting here, be the political leadership or the policy makers or the farmers cooperative and the farmers or the professional technocrats, everybody. I think one thing which we feel we can take pride world over, in which we have really shown the whole world the path. We have shown the way, that this way practically things can be done, and how India has, which was a milk deficit dependent on imports, have become world's largest producer. I think we all have contributed a lot. If I give you, because in my talk I've been given 30 minutes, I don't know. I'll try to finish it before time, if not in time. I'll be mainly talking about 4 areas. In dairy sector, what was the past which we feel proud of, what is the present, and what is the future. And to achieve to that future, what are the challenges, and what are the reasons why we reach to this situation, so that any path we take, any action we take, we should be careful. And ending with 2 things. One is, what are the suggestions of a dairy sector of India to the various stakeholders, especially to government and policy makers. And lastly, about my take on Milma, and also Kerala dairy industry, what I feel for it. Well, I'll give you, you heard everybody. There may be some repeat, but let me tell you, you see, today we say that India is world's largest producer, about 220 million metric ton. But if you see the past history, what is the growth pattern? We got independence in 1947. From 1947 to till 70s, we were stagnating. We started with around 20 million metric ton, and by 70s, 72, our milk production was only around 24, and population was growing. Per capita consumption reducing, imports increasing. But if you see after that 50 years, that is 1972 to today, you will see every 25 years, our milk production had tripled, or 3x. Every 25 years. 1972 24, 1997 it was 71, 2022 it is around 220. And the same way, if we go, by 2030, with the same rate code, it will be 330, and after 25 years, that 2047, when India will be having the Amrit Mahotsav, will be 620 million metric ton. Which will be 45% of world milk production. And if you see, in 1972, we were only 6%. 1997, only 14% of world milk production. And today, 23, and 2047, 45% is going. It is the biggest. And it has not only increased the milk production, but also per capita availability and consumption, in spite of population 4 times after independence growing. At the time of independence, till 70s, it was 110 gram, today is 420, and I think by 2047, another 25 years, we'll be having around world's biggest or saturated country like Europe, USA, consumption of 800 gram per person. I think that is going to be a very big achievement for India. And so is the organized sector, cooperatives, private, all put together. Today, dairy is India's biggest industry, a biggest crop, 11 lakh crore. There's no other industry this much big, 11 lakh crore. And out of that, around 3 lakh crore is the organized or branded dairy industry. And by 2030, our estimates say that this 11 lakh crore will grow to 30 lakh crore. And organized will be around 11 lakh crore. And nobody can stop it, because India today's 1.38 billion people, 138 crore, another 2047 will be having 165 crore stomachs or the markets. And with more money to spend on protein and fat-rich diet. So we are happy, and I think we have to compliment and congratulate all the stakeholders of dairy industry for this. So what are the reasons why we have reached to this? There are so many success stories for India, but this is the success story where the common man has contributed. but the political leadership has contributed, professionals have contributed. So what are the reasons for this success? I think the first reason for this success is that in 1970s, Indian farmers, the political leadership, the policy makers, and the professionals, they all agreed. They took this objective that India has to become Atmanirbhar, or self-reliant in milk. So long-term policies were made, long-term commitments were made, and based on that, what we have achieved today. I think still that is continuing. And what is the other reason is, this self-sufficiency has been achieved based on a supply chain which is fully owned and managed by the farmers. Cooperatives set the benchmark, and other, whether private or corporate, everybody followed. And what was that? Amul three-tier structure. And for that, National Dairy Development was formed to replicate the Amul model all over India, and Milma is one example before this. And also the other reason for the success is the selfless, dedicated leadership. Because it's a people institution. You need very selfless, dedicated political leadership and very, very committed professional leadership. We were lucky to have Shri Tirubhamas Patel as political leader, and Dr. Varghese Korean from Kerala, who returned from Michigan State University after doing his master's and agreed to stay in a small place called Anand, which was that time village. He came for 6 months and stayed there for 61 years. So you can understand the dedication of professionalism. And the other reason I think we should know that reason, and that is for dairy and our food chain. Just before COVID, I was in Istanbul for our International Dairy Federation. So in the evening, I was having chat with all the big CEOs of world biggest dairy companies. So one of the CEO of one big dairy world number one was sitting, and other fellow asked him, I mean, you people worked in India for 8 years, why you wound up? They had closed down in India for dairy. And you know what was his reason? And he said, we can't compete with India's very efficient supply chain. You see, that is in India, what you pay in Cochin or here for liter of milk, 80 to 85% goes to the farmers. Nowhere in the world. Farmers get only 1/3. And that is because of the very, very efficient supply chain, and which has been developed, managed, originated by India only. The other reason I think is very important is why India is there, and dairy is not a business. Dairy in India is a major source of livelihood for the lowest of this section of this rural society. Around 90 million families are dependent on dairy, fully or partially. That is the one reason for the success. And other, I think, reason is, I think I'd like to congratulate NDDB and Shri Minesh Shah is the chairman, to achieve this, reach to this level of very, very detailed planning, very, very meticulous execution and monitoring in execution of Operation Flood 1, 2 and 3, which is called the White Revolution 1. I mean, nowhere in the world you will find by just investment of 1,000 crore rupees one time, India has earning extra around 7 to 8 lakh crore today. Because all other countries around us, all neighboring countries are still at the same level of what India was there about 50 years back. So that is the one thing. And other area is, I think, dairy industry's reason for success is the engaging best of the professionals in the dairy industry. Dr. Korean could recruit best as a professional from anywhere, everywhere of India, even for abroad. He brought Michael Halls from Harvard Business Management. Best of the professionals all over from USA, so that India can become the self. And I think these are why I'm telling you, because one has to see if you have to continue on this, these are the things we should not leave behind. And other area I think all the policymakers and political leadership we have to learn is the long-term investment in infrastructure building. See, dairy never grew based on subsidies. No fertilizer subsidy, no seed subsidy, no power subsidy here. But still it grew much, 3 to 4 times the other sector is because infrastructure building. Because Dr. Korean used to say subsidies are like crutches. But if you really want to make the farmer or animal, Pashu Palak on the stand feet, provide infrastructure. So I think there are, you see in 1,000 crore what NADB could do it. Imagine there are certain states which are given subsidies of 10,000s of crores of rupees. Their budget, so if you see some 2-3 states budget may be more than the budget of center on animal husbandry. So what we feel, if we really have to plan long-term development, we have to invest in infrastructure building. The other area for reason for success is emphasis on marketing and branding, because no consumer will buy your product, it is Indian or it is from farmers cooperative or it has got this farmers, livelihood depend. No, it has to stand on the shelf. The brand perception, the delivery, the packaging, the shelf life, the quality has to be the best. So that is the reason. And other area is, I think, without which no business today can survive and can grow, is the technological and digital integration in the whole supply chain. And dairy is the one area where digital integration is not only bringing the efficiency, but it is also bringing transparency. It is also bringing speed, because their masses are involved both the sides. Millions of people this side, millions or billions of people this side. So more digital integration, bringing more efficiency and the speed and transparency. And now this is the what. So what is the future? What is the future of dairy industry? And like I said, future of dairy industry, what is future for India? And India is going to be, the dairy to the world reason is simple. 1.38 billion people, 1.65 billion people in 25 years. That is going to be market. No, you can't expect any recession or obsolescence in this sector. And the other change is happening is, I know when I joined Amul, India's rural population was 80% and urban was 20. Today we say it may be 68-32. The way the trend is showing, another 25 years, 50% people will be staying in the urban India, 50% in the rural India. So what does mean? What that means? More mouths to feed, less hands to produce. So food security is going to be the biggest challenge of any country with such number of population or stomachs. And we have realized during this Ukraine war, the countries which were not food secured, what is their law and economical situation? What is the rate of inflation there? So India, in India, food inflation has been, especially in dairy, much lower than the most developed countries where never dairy inflation has happened. USA, more than 30-40% dairy inflation. Now it has reduced to around 20-25. Europe, all these countries, it is because of our food security. And other changes happening because of more prosperities. Consumers are buying more of protein and fat-rich diet. That mainly because of more tasty and more better food. And dairy meets the requirement. Affordability is there, taste is there, and it can meet the requirement of both vegetarian and non-vegetarian population. And other future for India, you see, what we are needing in, like we say, India is developing. But is it the same rate Bharat is developing, rural India? When India got independence, the average household income or rural or urban household family was more or less same. Now, no, you know what is that division is? 1:5. urban household income is 5 times more than the rural. This is creating inequality in the society. And dairy is such area where you can create livelihood in the rural India. There they can earn the income with the dignity and then can work somewhere else also. I think dairy can be a very, very sustainable source of livelihood for rural India, that is Bharat. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your kind presence.
So, to achieve to that, there must be some challenges, there must be some areas where we have to be concerned. And first challenge, let me tell you, I was just before this session, I was interacting with the students. And there was a student from the rural area. He said, my father is farmer. I am studying here. But they don't want me to come to the village and work or do dairy. So why he is talking why it is here. I said, my dear, no, it is not here. All over world, the biggest challenge is the next generation of farmers doesn't want to continue producing food. Everybody wants to consume good food, cheap food. Everybody wants food prices increase. It is called महंगाई or inflation. That is right from consumer point of view. It's very good that increase should not be more. It's a inflation, food inflation. All newspaper media talk about food inflation, but nobody talks about farmers' income. Because what is food inflation is the increase in income of the farmer. So what is first challenge is how to make growing food or milk producing as a commercial business. How it can be commercially viable. Second area is already Shri Minesh Shah talked, Secretary Saab talked about low productivity. I think NDDB is working on that for productivity enhancement through breed development and for feeding better. I think that is the area already been covered. Third areas which is very, very important is we want to reach to 620 million metric ton. But where is the feed? Because 70% cost of milk production is the feed. And Indian milk production model is low input, low output. We have been feeding crop residue. But please, sure, in India, agricultural production is growing at the rate of 2% or 3%. So you can't expect crop residue to grow more than that. Moreover that, with the automation coming, harvesting, that much is also not. So the availability of crop residue is reducing. So is the availability of grains and de-oiled cake because export market is there. So we want to produce food, but raw material is feed. How to get feed? So that is the biggest challenge which and the policymakers and the professionals involved in dairy sector to address it. How to ensure, because if you see the cost of feed, today you were talking about increase in milk prices last 1.5 years is 14-15. See what is the cost in feed price. If you just put a graph of paddy straw or wheat straw price increase and then graph it with the milk price is not even half. So that is the area which we need to address. Other area I think is the naturally sustainability, because environmentally how to make, because all over world dairy has been made million of, it's not environmentally sustainable. But my take is sustainability starts when stomachs are full. You start talking about sustainability when stomach is full. So that is the area, and definitely dairy is the one area which I feel is most sustainable, because one side it is providing food, very important food for the humankind. The other side it is providing biomass to the soil. Otherwise, if you continue to start using chemical fertilizer, it will be totally useless thing. And third thing is providing the livelihood. Dairy is the one which is serving all the three sections of it. The other area, a challenge I think is that how to convince, how to persuade the state and the central governments to allocate more budgets for the animal husbandry sector. And we all know that animal husbandry sector contributes 30% to the agriculture income, and 5% to GDP. Just see what is the budget allocation out of the total from the agricultural total into the animal husbandry. Not even 10% of the stake. When India got independent, animal husbandry was contributing only 0.4% to the India's GDP. Today 5.2, and the way we are growing, I can tell you in 2030 it will be 7%, and by 2047 animal husbandry will be contributing minimum 9 to 10% on national GDP because market is there, and it is going to be grow. So we have to see how to persuade. Then other area which I think is, which I taught, Dr. Kure and I used to talk, is the crutches subsidies. I mean, it looks good that you are providing some subsidy per liter of milk, but where it is going? Most of the states, except one or two, this subsidy is going to the consumer because the price of milk is sold lower than the other states than the subsidy given. And second is, it is making business uncompetitive the whole other farmers, other states. So that is the area. And then one area which I feel is one I should also touch is vegan. People say plant-based vegan, but let me tell you, this plant-based is by namesake plant-based. You take the label of any this almond milk, soya milk, you'll find only 5 to 6% is plant-based. Balance is nothing but synthetic chemicals, vegetable oils, artificial flavor, artificial vitamin. Basically, it's a factory manufactured or factory produced thing. And moreover, it does not meet that food basic taste, nutrition and affordability. Any food will survive only if it meets this criteria of taste, nutrition and affordability. Other challenges, I think Government of India has been supporting the farmers of India is not to allow free imports of dairy products. In India, any dairy products is allowed, but duties are there, 30 to 60%. But most of the dairy surplus country want to export to India 0%, and we are thankful to the government of India. They have supported because in those countries, dairy is business. In India, dairy is livelihood, and 90 million people are dependent on this. Another area which I will not touch is Shri Manisha is adulteration or quality of milk, that is. So lastly, I've got 4 minutes, okay. So I'll talk what are the recommendations. So first is naturally, I said is, we should put money where we feel better returns are there. So whether we put our money or state government or central government, we need to put more resources for the animal husbandry, for the long-term policies and other things. Other area is how to export competence. Shri Manisha covered, because today if we are producing 220 and not exporting, but 2047 when we will be producing 620 and India consumption at the rate of 800 gram per person per day will be around 510. So we'll be having around 110 million metric ton surplus. If we don't dispose of that 110 million metric ton, price in Indian market will reduce drastically and farmer will not be interested to grow or produce milk, and then will not be able to reach to the. So how to make Indian dairy sector very export competent. Third area is, I think, which is very applicable to all the agriculture sector is, because we have seen one season any agriculture produce prices will fall drastically. Next year there is a scarcity of price will, the volatility is very high. For that, the only solution world over test is buffer stocking. I think policy makers have to take decisions how to ensure a buffer stocking in the dairy sector. So neither consumer has to pay more when scarcity is there, nor farmers has to get 20, 30, 40% less price when suddenly see stocks are more in the mud. And fourth, very, very important recommendation is, which time has come for White Revolution 2. In 70s, White Revolution went 1,000 crore. Today if Government of India gives 10 to 15,000 crore rupees for next 5 to 7 years, and NDB implement White Revolution 2, I can tell you we can really achieve this 620 million by 2047, and that is the area. Other area with recommendation is how to promote milk. Kerala, they say per capita consumption is less, only 200 gram. north it is more than 800 to 9 gram. So we have to see how to, because milk is such a food, no other food can match it. Affordable, tasty, and all the nutrients all of right. Then how to get priority sector exemptions for the dairy farmers or animal husbandry sector like we are getting agriculture. But dairy sector is still not get priority sector, whether for income tax point of view of farmer or any other priority loans or sub-incentive. And other areas, GST. You see, remember, if you, Kerala buys today white butter or the skim milk powder to make a liter of milk, how much GST you have to pay? 4 rupee 50 paisa per liter is only GST, because 12% GST is on fat, which is 600 rupees kg, and calculate even 60-70 rupees is GST, and then 5% on this. So I'm not saying no GST, and milk is not a taxable product. So a consumer, today we want to reduce the inflation in the dairy industry. If we reduce GST on fat from 12 to 5, any dairy can reduce the price of milk by 2 to 3 rupees. So these are the few recommendations. I can only say that Indian dairy still got a very good potential, but we have to see, we follow the same path what we have been following. Don't tinker with the major policy things and encourage local. Now coming to Kerala, my take is, I definitely agree, Kerala, like India, Kerala has to become self-sufficient, and there are all the reasons that Kerala can become self-sufficient. And whether you know or not, Milma is procuring on 14 lakh, which is 40% of Kerala's surplus milk. No, I mean, very few states can boost up. I mean, as far as collection of surplus milk in Kerala is very good by the cooperative, and another private sector is there. You put together, it may be around 30%. But what is required is how to provide very affordable feed. Feeding is the biggest challenge Kerala is facing, and I think that is the area where the policy makers are to look how to use logistics properly to bring the feed ingredients from the north, especially the railways. How to persuade railway, how to get very concessional rate for railway or logistics from bringing the feed from the north. I think these are the points which I thought I should tell you. So overall, I'm again thankful to the Shri Manisha, the chairman, and all the veterinary university for giving this opportunity to talk to you and give my views. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a small interactive session with the Soti, sir. If anyone is having any question, please raise your hand so that the volunteers will hand over the mic to the person and you can pop up the question. And the participants in the second hall can also put up their question. Participants, please. We can now interact with the Soti, sir.
Question?
Participants in hall 1 and hall 2, if you have any question, you can just now interact with Soti, sir.
Already answered. Already answered our question. Yes, Charles sir.
Thank you. I think you already mentioned after 25 years our milk production will be 628 million metric ton. Right, statistically it is fine. But there are practical problems which you just explained. One is going to be feed and fodder. And in these circumstances, how is it possible to reach 628 million metric ton? Because sometime back, if you remember, IFCN was just telling that we have to import, it will be a major importer of milk and milk products, which I objected in that conference at England. But still, there is a big question among the professionals and researchers, how do we reach this target?
Well, Mr. Charles, you are right. As far as IFCN is International Farmers Dairy Farm Data Collection Agencies, I've been attending their presentation for last 30 years, and for last 30 years they have been saying they'll show graph. India's demand of milk is growing. India's production, India is going to be deficit country. So please do not go by the projections of the European agencies because they have got other agenda. So one thing is, I fully agree. It's a very big challenge. It's not easy. It's a feed. One is the feeding, and second is the how to provide stable and remunerative price to the farmers. So it's a big question. So that is where we have to think how to get better feed, affordable feed to the farmers. How to, whether it is multi-cropping, whether moving more of crop residue one area to other area. How to say the crop residues are better harvested and processed, because crop residues, paddy straw or wheat straw has become a big crop value. So that is I think is where lot of planning, like Operation Flood, we need to come out with feeding also operation. That is the area. And I think a lot of investments are. So I'm not saying it is easy. And I do not have solutions for the feeding, right?
Thank you, sir. Any more participants to ask questions to Soti, sir? Hope there are no more questions and... pardon. Okay, sir.
Sir, myself, Dr. Srikumar, Managing Director of Kerala Feeds. I have one question. You have sound experience in dairy sector as well as in Amul. Could you please say something, the strategy, marketing strategy you adapted for marketing your products for the common public?
Well, generally, you see, marketing of food or marketing of dairy strategy is same. It has to be good product, because no consumer is going to buy a food which is not meeting his or her requirement. And food, the requirement I told you, it is taste. So nobody, if I am going to consume this flavored milk, I'll only consume it taste wise. Otherwise, whatever you write on the pack, I'm not going to look at it. I look at the pack, other things afterwards, it meets my taste requirement. First is the taste. Second, I think India is a country of lower middle class. And I have seen, especially when any product shift takes place from unorganized or unbranded to branded, you have to see how much premium you are going to charge for packaging of a branding. And I've seen food, if you are up to 15, a maximum 20% premium if you charge, a majority of consumer will accept. I've seen an example like curd, because curd everybody was, about 20 years back, everybody was buying. In Gujarat, every place is loose. And I remember, initially, we were selling at 40 rupees milk. And we started, or a lot of multinational brand launched the curd at 100 rupees kg in beautiful cups. They could not sell it. The day we launched curd in plastic pouch at 50 rupees, everybody started buying. So it has to be mass. If you want to make a mass market, it has to be affordable. Third is consumer perception about the brand. That is it. And fourth, I think very important, I think is which Dr. Varghese Kuni used to tell us, that how to get not only faith or loyalty of the consumer. I mean, you may be having faith in XYZ brand, you have got loyalty to 3 or 4 airlines, you can travel in these 3 or 4 airlines, okay. But what is required in food is, that is ultimate, is the blind faith. Blind faith like you have got in your religion. I have got a blind faith in Sikhism. I don't question why I wear to turban or why I don't cut my hair. So he used to say you should develop consumers should develop blind faith in an Amul, so that when a housewife walks into a shop, she never looks left or right. She just purchases your product and comes out without thinking what other alternatives, what other are charging. And that comes over a period of time. Never think your customer I mean, always think customer is smarter than you. Don't try to outsmart customer. कि आपने 200 ml का रखा, अंदर 100 डाल दिया. Tomorrow 180, फिर 170, 160. So consumer will not come to know. No. Or in ice cream, you have to add 14% or 12% fat. You replace half the fat with the vegetable. Consumer will not come to know. My cost will reduce. In food, cost of production is very. So I think these are the thing. Another thing is in food or dairy, very important segment which you have seen, which gives you growth is number of outlets selling your product. Increased distribution. Increasing distributor up to the small 5,000-10,000 town, increasing the retail unit. We have seen if you increase your retail universe by 10%, your sales will automatically grow by 10% from the same outlets. And the remaining thing is other marketing strategies. I mean, a lot of things are there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, there is a question. Conference call.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Myself, Dr. Deepa Anand. So I'm just asking about one question regarding the growth of dairy products in Kerala rather than diversified products. And we have concerns, most of the milk that is coming from outside Kerala and the quality of the milk. And at the same time, the quality of the product also we have concerns. So what is the strategy that Kerala have to undergo on improving the diversified products, milk products?
If I understand, Dr. Deepa, you are talking about the quality of dairy products being imported to Kerala from other states. I mean, you mean quality of those products is not meeting the food label or food laws. So I think that is where the enforcement agency has to work. And also the existing dairy players like Milma, they have to bring these matters to the enforcement agency. I mean, that is the area. Otherwise, generally consumer will not come to know immediately. Especially I have seen in most of places, a lot of adulteration is taking place in fat. Or not. So I think that is the job of enforcement agencies and bringing to them the such cases where labeling is not correct or the weight is less or the nomenclature product is not good. I think that is the need of that.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, milk being a bulky product, how practical is it for these multinationals to bring in milk from other countries and...
No, sorry. Milk is not allowed in India to be imported, let me tell you. You can't. Generally, nowhere in the world milk is traded internationally. Only fat or skim milk powder. These are traded. Because milk is very bulky to carry like humans. In India also, as per law, milk is not allowed.
Why?
Sir, there is one more question.
Yeah.
Then why should we buy?
No. Milk is not imported. What is imported is fat and skim milk powder. You combine it and it is milk. You see, you remove water just to for more shelf life and logistic purpose. Otherwise, it's milk. Yes. Question, please.
Sir, this is Jomi Abraham. Sir, my question is, as in India, mostly when we compare it with other European nations and all, the most challenges that we used to face is the aflatoxin and antibiotic residues in milk. So because of these reasons, our export is, it's very difficult to take a decision to export milk to, especially to Europe and all. So in this case, it's a short-term goal or long-term goal, it may be, but for the next, to include in the 2030 visions, what could be the strategies that we have to adopt to achieve this goal?
I think Minesh जी आप बताएंगे कुछ? हाँ.
I covered this aspect in my actually speech. It's not only the aflatoxin. There are so many sanitary and phytosanitary measures which individual country through WTO they decide, and they say that you can't export in our country unless you meet these measures. So there are so many other things, not only aflatoxin. There are pesticides residues, these are antibiotic residues, and we will have to see that going forward. First thing is to measure. So unless we know that what is the present level, we will not be able to say whether we have or not. So first thing is to measure. So we have started compiling the data on the aflatoxin level, on the pesticide residue level, on the antibiotic residue levels. Once we know that this is the incidences we have in different parts of country, then you decide the strategies that, okay, if there are levels which are beyond certain limits, which is not allowing us to export, what is the strategies to mitigate these levels? I think that is the way we'll have to go forward. But let me also assure that the data, what we have as of now, the levels of all these actually is not really alarming at this stage. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hope there is no more questions, and we are moving on to the next speaker. Thank you, Sodhi, sir. We really owe your kind presence to grace this event. Today we have with us Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, Director of Indian Institute of Plantation Management, Bangalore, as the guest speaker. He was the professor and chairman at Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, a distinguished scholar, an eminent author, and a renowned management expert with enormous international experience. He authored highly popular books from Oxford University Press and had been editor of the prestigious quarterly journal of IIFT, Foreign Trade Review. Professor Joshi has extensive transnational exposure and has been associated with several multilateral organizations such as World Bank and the Asian Development Bank. With much pleasure and joy, we would like to invite Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi to deliver a session on the topic Indian Dairy Industry, Challenges and Opportunities.
Okay, it's okay. Namaskara and good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting me. She gave me a big, so great, introduction. Thank you so much. But my introduction is that, Sodhi Saab deleted me from the list of Anand. I graduated from Anand, the same institute that he deleted me. I am not in Anand now, but Anand is very close to my heart, except for the fact that I did my MTech from National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal. I am a dairy technologist. Now I think in my new form, I specialize in globalization and international marketing, and I work very closely with the government and the corporate sector, wherein we talk on globalization or all sorts of these strategies. Under the National Dairy Development Board, where I think the Mineshji was the key guiding officer, and the World Bank, I also prepared the India's export strategy for 2030 with the World Bank, so that gave me my recent exposure. So, and everybody was presenting you some sort of a sermon. I thought as a professor, it would make a sense if I show you some slide. Because, so I will like to change, because, in the afternoon I thought that, by now you will be feeling sleepy, and, I will not like you to sleep. And then another thing Sodhi Saab said is, unka baad mein hai to mera sabse baad mein hai, so repetition ke chance bahut zyada hai. Now if you see that, I'll show you a few, pictures, and if you look into these pictures, you see that how India has progressed in terms of the milk production. Can you see these diagrams, something like that? I am very sure, because, although the screen is less, but there are so many screens, so you'll be able to see, wherein the America's milk production, and I'm giving you a very long data, 20 years, 22 years of the data, when, we started in 2000, India's milk production was almost as well as that of America. Now India produces more than twice the milk that the America produces, which is the second largest, manufacturer. India is not only the largest producer of milk, and as I think the previous speaker said, that we have come a very long way from a very net importer of milk. Now we have become a net exporter, or self-sufficient, 100% self-sufficient. And I think in a few last years we exported some milk. Now this is true for the agriculture as well. For wheat, as you are aware, grain, we used to import the grain. I know, I'm sure that some of you must be knowing that in 1960s we used to import the wheat from America. And when Shastri ji was the Prime Minister of India, तो उन्होंने कहा एक ही बार हम खाना खाएं. तो एक बार खाना खाएंगे तो हमारा जो है ना अकाल खत्म हो जाएगा. People have more to feed. From that, now this time when the India restricted wheat export, the whole Europe said that India wants the whole world to be hungry. So I think I just sent that I keep on writing in newspapers. Last week I wrote, that was also published in some Malayalam magazine. I sent to the chairman and the honorable secretary sahab also, and so I've sent them. Therein I've said, when this is the time of India, when all countries are facing difficulty. Pakistan separated it because they said we'll build a great India, great Pakistan. Now today, Pakistan with $2.9 billion of forex reserves. India's forex resource is $560 billion. Gino kitna hai? More than 200 times. 200 times. In Pakistan, the ships are on the Karachi harbor. They have no money to pay. बाहर भी नहीं ले सकते हैं माल को. 18 days का वो रह गया जिसको हम कहते हैं ना the foreign exchange balance. So where India is? America, wherein the inflation is 2-3% or 7-8% inflation. He was talking of food inflation. Britain, 3 finance ministers have to change because of food inflation. 30% food inflation. अरे हिंदुस्तान में तो 7% है. हमारी तो 6-7 वैसे भी रहती है. And nothing succeeds like success, and India succeeded. With 140 billion people, China is not the largest populated country, we are. And the lesson from India's population is, it did not happen because of support of the government. It happened because of entrepreneurship of the individual people. And I call upon you to keep this entrepreneurship of the individual people to make India the leading producer, supplier of the milk. And this is only what, don't think the government officers will do much. They can only facilitate. उनको थोड़ी export करना, export तो आपको करना है. उनको थोड़ी produce करना, बिल्कुल नहीं करना. आज आए कल चले जाएंगे. आपको रहना है यहाँ पे. So I think what you can do is, and we are responsible for all our problems. Nobody else is. अब पाकिस्तान के अंदर वो कहते हैं कि साहब हिंदुस्तान के कारण प्रॉब्लम हो गई है. अभी वो कहते हैं कि इंडिया डिड नॉट अलाउड देम टू गेट द असिस्टेंट फ्रॉम IMF. अच्छा देखो कितना पैसा चाहिए उनको, $3 billion. 3 billion इज नो मनी. 3 billion कुछ पैसा है. एनी इंडिविजुअल कैन गिव 3 billion, बट द होल इकोनॉमी इज एट द स्टेक ओनली फॉर $3 billion. तो आपको क्या लगता है गवर्नमेंट हेल्प कर सकती है? बिल्कुल नहीं. IMF हेल्प कर सकता है? बिल्कुल नहीं. ओनली द पीपल कैन हेल्प. एंड अगेन गोइंग टू माई भगवद गीता, उद्धरेद आत्मात्मानम. You must uplift yourself by your own self. Natmanam avsadiyet. You should never degrade yourself by your own self. Atmaiv atmanau bandhu. You yourself is your best friend. And atmaiv ripuratmana. And you yourself is your worst enemy. Today, if in Kerala we are not sufficient in milk, don't blame government of India. Secretary is going out of way to organize this kind of a seminar. As a professor, I keep on attending seminar, but I have not seen galaxy of the people on one dais in such a seminar. साहब तो बच्चों को कभी कभी पढ़ाते हैं, मैं तो रोज ही पढ़ाता हूँ क्योंकि मैं प्रोफेसर हूँ, है ना. वो आपसे आज मिले, मैं रोज मिलता हूँ, है ना. And I tell you, I have not seen a seminar where minister is there, secretary, government of India is there, chairman NDDB. You will not find a person like him. You have not seen the earlier secretary who was just invisible. And Sodhi Sahib will tell you, market में जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. You are talking what is the formula of market. And problem with the Indian promotional organizations, they are totally inward oriented. वो अपने अपना गोल गोल घूमते रहते हैं, बाहर जाके दिखते ही नहीं. तो मैं तो पता है, I have done a lot of training, है ना. मैंने एक बार ट्रेनिंग की SEZ के कमिश्नर्स के लिए, ऑल SEZ फ्रॉम अक्रॉस द कंट्री, बहुत पुरानी बात हो गई, 8-9 की हो गई। मैंने उनको पूछा, भाई तुम कितने SEZ देख के आओ दुनिया में, कितने बार गए हो? You know, out of 40 people, only 2 said we have gone abroad, we have not seen. मैंने कहा, you cannot manage SEZ. I sound bitter. सत्यम वदेत नानरतम, ना वदेत सत्यम प्रियम। सच बोले झूठ ना बोले, लेकिन अप्रिय सच ना बोले। बट माई प्रॉब्लम इज कि एक दिन क्या हुआ कि वो धृतराष्ट्र बैठे हुए थे, नींद नहीं आ रही थी रात को। नींद, उन्होंने विदुर को बुलाया कि सब कुछ बताओ, मुझे नींद नहीं आती है रात को। उनका सब 2 चीजें बताने के लिए, आइदर आई विल टेल यू सुलभा पुरुषा राजन सततम प्रियवादिनः अप्रियस्तु पथ्यश्च वक्ता श्रोता च दुर्लभा। इट्स इजी टू फाइंड द पीपल हु सेज यस सर यस सर यस सर। हम तो वही करते हैं ना सरकार में जाते हैं, यस सर आपने बड़ा अच्छा किया। अच्छा किया तो क्या रिजल्ट हुआ वो आप देख लीजिए। केरला's total export 5 years before, Kerala's share in total India's export was 3.25%, has come down to 1.1%. Who is responsible? Where India's export last year is touched historical 420 billion US dollar figure. Who is responsible? Government of India? No. Then you identify who is. Now, but milk I think we have done. And more importantly is, I specialize in international marketing. So I'll tell you only on the international market. I have no idea about the domestic policies, which policy makers are at your doorstep. They will tell you better. India has, in terms of the milk, our share in the world has gone from 13-14% in 2000 to 23-24% now. It baffles the world. Anyway, I wrote in that all the newspapers English, वो मलयालम में भी translate कर देते हैं, बंगला में all translate. So Malayalam, I think you can see, I have written the word, India's economic resurgence baffles the world. The way what we have done, it baffles the world. And this is the international, 25%. And if you see, it is not. That this I think the graph you see that what is going to happen in I think 31, India is going to be the third one is the India. India is going to be the largest milk producer in the world in time to come. So I think despite of all the odds, India में कितने odd है? There is no country on the earth which has got so diversity of the languages. 925. India is so country where we have got 27-28 languages recognized by the constitution. किसी देश में नहीं, अमेरिका में जाओ अंग्रेजी से काम चल जाता है, चाइना में जाओ चाइनी बोलो तो काम चल जाता है. India is the only country where we don't understand each other's language. अच्छा कहीं देखा? केरल से बढ़िया कोई जगह नहीं हो सकती. God's own country. You allow only Bhagwan Bali to come every year on Onam. I am fortunate that I come sometime. And that also in this city of Parshuram. Now, and despite of this diversity and religious diversity, you will face nowhere than Kerala in the whole country. We could do wonders. The whole world is, jealous of us. पाकिस्तान का टीवी चैनल चला के देख लो, फिर देखो आपको पता चलेगा how they are jealous of us. And if you see, he was very right to say that IFCN you are talking of, na, Torsten is my close friend. And when we sit on the dais, he always keep on fighting with me because I disagree. क्योंकि वो डेटा कुक करते हैं. साहब ने बोला, I support him because we are indigenous now. Now if you see, India is going to increase in terms of the productivity and the total, inventory in terms of the milk production. This I am giving the data for milk production in 2030. Or yesterday was the cow hug day. I am not very sure how many of you hugged it. Kind of the diversity and the genome you have got in this country, nowhere else on farm. I think this is a picture of Jorhat. I did not hug yesterday. In long back, वो तो गाय इतनी सी होती है, ऐसे उठा लो उसको. And if you look into how close cow is to, यहाँ पे तो मैं एक वो मंदिर गया था कल पास में ना, वहाँ एक ऐसे बुल का टेम्पल बना हुआ है, उसको अंदर बंद कर रखा है. Nowhere else on the earth you find. So India is also home to the largest number of the cattle. Largest number, 300 million. Nowhere else on the earth. है ही नहीं. And he is very right. कि द होल वर्ल्ड इज वरीड अबाउट कि एक गाय मीथेन पैदा करती है, कहते हैं ना सस्टेनेबिलिटी, सस्टेनेबिलिटी. आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो देयर इज अ कंट्री कॉल्ड ऑस्ट्रेलिया. नाम सुना है आपने? वाई ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज सो पॉपुलर? हु कैन टेल मी? है वाई ऑस्ट्रेलिया वॉज फॉर्म्ड? डू यू नो? कौन बता सकता है? बताओ. है ऑस्ट्रेलिया वॉज ए जेल लाइक अंडमान निकोबार. तो लोगों को वहां पे छोड़ देते थे. दे 2 years बैक दे शूटेड 10,000 कैमल्स, क्योंकि साइंटिस्टों ने कहा कि ये मीथेन पैदा करते हैं. आई मे डिसएग्री विद देम. एंड the secret of success, all western, you know, when the scientists came, they said कि इंडिया में तो दूध प्रोडक्शन हो ही नहीं सकता है, because again going by your Toston says कि अगर 200-300 का साइज नहीं होगा आपका डेयरी का तो इट इज अनवायबल. उनकी हर स्टडी यही कहती है यूरोपियन. बट विद 1 or 2 cattle, India has demonstrated to the earth that this is the model. Ask Minesh ji, he will tell you how the entire, you know, he has done this time outstanding work of that WDF, and wherein all the international, you know, the scientists and the dairy experts have agreed that this is the model that I think they were mistaken. So don't take what you read. ये कोई गीता का ज्ञान थोड़ी है जो वो बोलते हैं आप पढ़ लेते हो उसको. More importantly, agriculture in India, in America, 2-3% of the population is dependent on agriculture. Agriculture is my another field because I did my MTech, and more than that I teach agriculture across 17 countries, at least in Southeast Asia, maybe whole of world. But what happens is the share of the crops has decreased from 65% to 55% in last 10 years, wherein the livestock share has increased to 30%. And this is, I think, this is a typical, the ecosystem of this country and the demographic pattern where we have done. Now, and this is, I think, you will agree with me that allowing import of the milk and milk product in this country duty free, I think that time, Sodhi Saab also fought for it, and I, joined the movement that, don't allow the milk to come. So I used to write every day in the article, and wherein I think when even, the government, all data said that, all this, don't go by these studies. There were a lot of studies which said that, allow import of the milk, it will improve competitiveness of the milk in India. But I think last time that RCEP agreement was not, signed with India. I work very closely with all FTAs even now. And what is very important is that ultimately we could, we did not sign. Now India is not signing agreement. Achha, Australia, I think I very recently written. It was, I think, very apt of the Indian negotiators. Dairy was not included. We are also in the advanced stage of negotiating with the UK, European Union and America. They want dairy product to come to India, but I think we want exclusion clause. India is not a part of any of the FTA because we don't want dairy and agriculture to keep this. I don't know how many of you know about it. America is the largest producer and exporter of dairy products. 18% share in the world production, of agriculture products. Dairy is yes. Now, and this has happened because of the ingenious strategy that I think we have followed, and credit goes to NDDB and Amul. Salute. Minesh ji. Let's come to God's own country. India's milk production in the green lines is increasing. And the blue line is Kerala. This is the total million metric ton production in 2012-13. Kerala's total milk production was 2.11 million metric ton, has reduced to almost half. I want the answer from you. When all of you are working together, why the total milk production of Kerala has decreased to half? I am showing you the data which I think either you don't show, government don't show, or you don't accept. Source? सरकार हम तो सरकार के बिना सोर्स ही नहीं लेता. 2.53 total.
But he's talking about the declining
share 2.5 is, yes, you are right. ये रेड के अंदर 2.5 है, absolutely right. But हाँ, अरे सुनो, there is a German saying, अरे आप तो इतने समझदार हो, एनडीडीबी के एक्सपर्ट हो, हैं आप तो सही, मतलब इन लोगों को तो नहीं पता होगा, बट आपने तो देश देखा है कि 2.8 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन से 2.5 हो गया. बट देयर इज अ जर्मन सेइंग, व्हेन एवरीबॉडी इज गोइंग अहेड एंड यू आर स्टैंडिंग स्टिल, यू आर ऑटोमेटिकली गोइंग बैकवर्ड. गलत बोल रहा हूं क्या? हाफ हो गया आपका शेयर. The other thing is the per capita availability in India. I am an academic, तो मेरी बात का बुरा मत मानना. I am not an officer. I am professor. अगर if I don't do this, I fail in my duty. Now per capita availability India में 427 है और यहाँ पे हमारी जो है 197 है, 200 से भी कम. So that is another thing, है ना. But anyway, अच्छा एक और चक्कर है. We purchase, now this is the last figure I have taken from your economic survey, the last economic survey before budget of government of Kerala. 1.34 लाख लीटर मिल्क हम रोज जो है ना बाहर से लेते हैं. So एक चीज मैं बता दूं कि it's extremely important that the state becomes self sufficient. आजकल तो हम इंटरनेशनल में भी किसी in every forum we talk about the self sufficiency. हम भारत की आत्मनिर्भरता करते हैं, पहले अपन आत्मनिर्भर हो जाएं. लास्ट चीज, एनीवे डोंट वरी, ये मैंने ओवरऑल एक्सपोर्ट का भी किया है, बिकॉज आई थिंक डे बिफोर यस्टरडे आई वाज दीज इंडस्ट्रीज पीपल, ऑल दीज इंडस्ट्रीज ऑफिसर्स एंड द मिनिस्टर्स वर देयर. हमारा शेयर जो है केरल का एक्सपोर्ट के अंदर टोटल 3.24 से 1% हो गया है इन लास्ट 3 years. देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी कि कोविड का थोड़ा इंपैक्ट हो, बट मोर देन कोविड आई थिंक वी आर नॉट मेंटेनिंग द शेयर विच वॉज इवन 10 years बिफोर. Again, the same thing is when the country has increased and we have not. So, so this is something. Chalo, let's talk of dairy. Now, another thing is, on the positive note, dairy is going to be the fastest agro commodity in the world. If you see all the commodities, 21, 22, dairy is among the fastest commodity in the world. Second चीज आप देखिए कि in terms of the volume trade, अगर आप देखते हो तो the volume trade in 2021, 2030 के अंदर जो है, the volume growth is going to be less, but not in the absolute term. Now I'll tell you what remains the highest traded agriculture commodity in the world is, it is not rice, poultry, wheat. What is the highest is milk powder, whole milk powder and skim milk powder. So India, by way of that growing milk, and I was so happy to listen to Secretary Saab and and the chairman that they talk on export. तो एक्सपोर्ट की बात करेंगे तो हमारा ब्रेड बटर हो जाएगा ना, बिकॉज आई एम एन इंटरनेशनलाइजेशन स्पेशलिस्ट. एंड दिस आई टेल यू वेरी इंपॉर्टेंटली, अनलेस इंडिया एक्सपोर्ट, इट्स क्वालिटी विल नॉट इंक्रीज, इट्स प्राइस कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस विल नॉट इंक्रीज. एंड देयरफॉर, अच्छा मिल्मा, बिकॉज आई हैव गॉन अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड एंड मिडिल ईस्ट, द होल ऑफ द मिडिल ईस्ट, सीनियर ऑफिसर्स आर फ्रॉम केरला, इवन ऑल केरला है. और वो मिल्मा का घी मंगाते हैं. आपका घी बहुत बिकता है वहाँ पे बाजार में, और वो घी जो है वो कहते हैं कि साहब वो जब हम मंगाते हैं तो भेजते हैं, बाकी तो कोई भेजता ही नहीं है. देयर इज नो प्रोएक्टिव मार्केटिंग. दैट वाज वन थिंग. एंड इफ यू सी दैट इंडिया फ्रॉम बीइंग ए नेट इंपोर्टर, वी हैव बिकम नाउ द नेट एक्सपोर्टर ऑफ द टोटल डेयरी प्रोडक्ट. दिस आई थिंक यू कैन सी, वी कैन टॉक. नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज, इंडिया इज गेटिंग more and more the fascinated market for the people across the world, and there is a need to increase your competitiveness. Now why? Because of the largest populated country on the earth, 1.4 billion people, rising in income levels, and therefore when the income level rises, the demand for the product increases. So what is going to happen is, this ko chhod dijiye, single most driver, dairy is going to be the single most driver in the world growth. It's very different. Now if you see the per capita consumption is going to increase. Now I'll tell you what are the challenges now. एक तो आप देखिए कि बच्चे सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक ज़्यादा पीने लगे हैं दूध की जगह, and therefore the consumption of soft drink is increasing 2.5 times more. So that is one. And another thing is vegan. Everybody want to be vegan on the whole earth. देखो वो कहते हैं कि if you take the almond, it gives you calcium 450 gram. Cow gives only 312. So all these are what we say is the misleading. And that we need to understand. But misleading, leading is another thing. We need to protect the market by marketing. Dekho, they say, now these advertisements you find across Europe. Is your mom, but cow is our mother. We can claim, so we can take the milk. They say, don't take the milk. They say, you know, if you take cow milk, you are, animal is being, They say it is not a healthy food. They say so many problem is there. There is almond milk. Every nut has got a milk. Do you know India imports more vegetables than we export? Do you know India imports more fruits than we export? So I think we need to understand. And do you think we cannot be a country with 48 to minus 48 degrees centigrade temperature? We import fruits like apple, nuts. $9 billion nuts हम import करते हैं. वॉलनट है, कैशू नट है, नेट इंपोर्टर. वो एक अच्छी बात है कि हमने यहाँ कैशू खाए सुबह. But do you think being Kerala you cannot? And do you know, I think plantation, I was talking yesterday, productivity is going down. Kerala, the cost is, India is great. India is not America. The wage rate in Assam is 149 rupees. Here wage rate is not less than 450 or even more, 600. So it makes the difference. But somehow you have to find the solution to become the self-sufficient. People from Kerala goes to Gulf, वो दुबई में जाएंगे, उधर हांगकांग में जाएंगे, सिंगापुर में जाएंगे. They will do all menial jobs. यहाँ पे नहीं करेंगे. We import the people from Bihar and UP. गलत कह रहा हूँ तो बता दो. Now, if you see, what we call is a plant-based meat substitute, and you see that it is growing. I am showing you its consumption is going in terms of the US $1 billion. And therefore, it is going to be a serious threat. देखो, this is what they say is a beyond beef. ये बनाने लग गए हैं, ये बनता है. मैंने सुना गुजरात से एक्सपोर्ट होता है. There are exporters and it has no beef component. You go to any market, आप लंदन चले जाओ, पेरिस चले जाओ, कहते साहब this is a vegetarian restaurant. फिर अंदर जाके पूछा भाई क्या मेन्यू में, साहब बीफ करी. अरे मैंने कहा भाई मैं तो शुद्ध शाकाहारी हूँ. उसने कहा नहीं इट इज शाकाहारी, वेजिटेरियन. मैंने कहा बीफ कैसे वेजिटेरियन? सो आई यू विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड. बट आई एम टेलिंग यू, आई वाज टोल्ड टुडे कि एक ऐसा आर्टिफिशियल दूध भी बना रहे हैं चाइना के अंदर. दे आर डूइंग ए रिसर्च. वो एक पिग बना रहे हैं बहुत बड़ा. दे मेक पिग 500 kg. It's a factory. And when with your friend Torson I was talking, I was in D level की factory कहाँ पे है? Sweden, हाँ, Stockholm. So I went there. तो factory थी. अभी तो 50,000 रुपए की आपको मिल्किंग मशीन देते हैं. वहाँ पे वो जो रोबोट है वो 1.2 करोड़ से लेके 1.5 करोड़ का. कहता है आप ले जाओ. अरे मैंने कहा हमारे यहाँ तो 3,000 का आदमी बढ़िया दूध निकालता. It's a fact. And therefore, with all due respect to sustainability, what we talk is, somebody was asking a question, these are being used as a non-tariff barriers by the European countries. थोड़ा हम करेंगे. अभी तो कार्बन क्रेडिट की बात होने लगी है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें. Yesterday I was on those things, but I think please understand this is going to give you a tough time. देखो एक चीज़ समझ लो, ईश्वर ने जो बना दिया है ना, कोई गड़बड़ नहीं कर सकता. पहले तो मैं आपको बता दूं, यू कैन, बेंगलोर में तो हम रहते ही हैं. आई मीन बेंगलोर, आई एम फॉर्चुनेट. दे कैन मेक 100 कंप्यूटर्स इन ए डे, दे कैन मेक 1000 कंप्यूटर्स इन ए डे, है ना. लेकिन 10,000 कंप्यूटर इन ए डे, बट वो एक गेहूं का दाना नहीं बना सकते मशीन में. बना लें तो बता दो. लेकिन मुझे आज पता चला कि दूध भी बनाने वाले हैं वो. तो आई गॉट सरप्राइज. आप जो मर्जी टेक्नोलॉजी लगा लीजिए, मुझको कोई ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी बताओ कि बिना इंसीनिमेशन के गाय बच्चा दे दे और बिना बच्चा दिए वो दूध पिला दे. देयर इज नो टेक्नोलॉजी ऑन द अर्थ. प्रकृति क्रियमाणानि गुण सर्वाणि सर्वश अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा करता अहम इति मन्यते. जो होता है ऊपर वाला करता है. लेकिन बेवकूफ लोग सोचते हैं कि धरती वही चला रहा है. खैर, द थिंग इज that this is going to be a big threat to the entire meat industry. So if not milk, then milk substitute are going to come, and I think they are using the engineering techniques to market that and make you. मुझको को ये बताया आज कि लोग यहाँ पे तो लिक्विड दूध पीते ही नहीं है. लिक्विड दूध किसी को पिला दो तो उसको लगता है कि वो अच्छा. इफ यू सी China has got the highest number of the people यू नो हु आर लैक्टोज इंटॉलरेंट, क्योंकि उन्होंने जनरेशन से दूध नहीं पिया है। अरे एक हिंदुस्तानी ऐसा है जहां हम हजारों साल से दूध पीते आ रहे हैं। अमेरिका में पहली गाय 1600 में गई थी, यूरोप के अंदर गाय 800 ईयर्स पहले का इतिहास है। अरे हम तो हजारों सालों से गाय का दूध पीते आ रहे हैं, कितना बढ़िया घी होता है यहाँ पे, आप बताओ, घृतम। सो प्राइस कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस इज गोइंग टू बी द सीक्रेट ऑफ सक्सेस। बहुत लिटिल आपको मैं बता देता हूं, ये मेरे को घड़ी मत बताओ मैडम। प्राइस ऑफ डेयरी food products in time to come in real terms. Real terms means taking care of the inflation is not going to increase, it is going to decrease. And I always talk even to the agriculture people as well. हमारा कॉस्ट ऑफ इनपुट बढ़ता जा रहा है, आपका कॉस्ट ऑफ इनपुट बढ़ता है, तो आपके पास चैलेंज एक है कि हाउ यू मेक योर प्रोडक्ट प्राइस कॉम्पिटिटिव इन द मार्केट। कुछ अच्छा आप प्राइस कॉम्पिटिटिव के लिए पता है, इफ यू टॉक टू द प्रोड्यूसर एक्सपोर्टर, वो एक ही चीज कहते हैं जी भारत सरकार हमको सब्सिडी दे दे, एक ही बात करते हैं ना, कहां से दे दे सब्सिडी। नंबर वन, ट्रांसपोर्ट सब्सिडी, आई थिंक यू नो आई कवर्ड दिस बजट वेरी लाइव, ऑलमोस्ट 8 टीवी चैनल्स, तो मैं सारे दिन देख रहा था। पहली बात ये, समथिंग विच कैन बी डन टू द फार्मर्स एंड द प्रोड्यूसर्स इज क्रिएटिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर विच वी आर डूइंग। इंडिया, हमने 10 ट्रिलियन रुपीज का स्ट्रक्चर रखा इस बार उसके लिए। द अदर थिंग इज, सो सब्सिडी कैन नॉट बी गिवन, सरकार के पास पैसा भी नहीं है, एंड सब्सिडीज आई थिंक सोदी साहब ने बहुत अच्छी तरह बताया इज एब्सोल्युटली काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव ऑल द टाइम। ठीक है, अभी आप देखिए द रियल प्राइस चेंज ऑफ ऑल कमोडिटीज इन नेक्स्ट, ये मेरा फोरकास्ट नहीं है, एफएओ का फोरकास्ट है, एंड आई वर्क वेरी क्लोजली विद दिस एफएओ स्टैटिस्टिशियंस। 10 साल में घटने वाला है रियल टर्म्स में, और आपकी इनपुट कॉस्ट बढ़ने वाली है, तो हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू द मार्केट। Now I think sometime you sit with me, I'll tell you the whole economics of agriculture. Now I think the choice is yours. अच्छा ये होने वाला है, मैं डरा नहीं रहा हूँ, it is going to happen. Now this I have taken, you know, the prices of, इस बार तो डेयरी का प्राइस इंडेक्स एफओ का ठीक ठाक आया है ना, पिछले साल से बढ़ गया है, बट काइंडली बी अवेयर ऑफ दैट इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी परपिचुअल, है ना। ये दिसंबर तक का डेटा है, 138 हो गया, कोई बात नहीं, वापस घट गया, बट इट इज नॉट एज गुड एज इट वाज इन द मंथ ऑफ जून जुलाई। दिस इज द इंटरनेशनल प्राइसेस। डोमेस्टिक का में वर्ल्ड का डेयरी प्राइसेस जो है, इसका भी इंडेक्स कम हो गया है, इट इज मच लोअर देन इट वाज इन you know in the 4th month even in this year. So you know the price in the agriculture product keeps on fluctuating. This is again the price of the you know most dairy product in 2031 is not going to increase, it will decline, more decline for butter and the fatty products, है ना। Now you come, एक छोटी सी चीज बताता हूँ, scientific discoveries don't believe them blindly. Anyway, मैं भी साइंटिस्ट हूं ना, मैंने भी एमटेक किया, तो साइंटिस्ट मान लो मुझे। In 1984, the Time published, this was a cover story, कोलेस्ट्रॉल, अगर आप कोलेस्ट्रॉल खाओगे हार्ट में ब्लॉक हो जाएगा, हार्ट अटैक होगा, ऊपर चले जाओगे। कवर स्टोरी, गलत नहीं बता रहा हूं। The same Time magazine in 1909 says कि eat cholesterol, it is good for you, कोलेस्ट्रॉल से कुछ नहीं होता है। The same Time magazine in 2004 says कि घी खाएं। अब एक बार बताओ, हमारे यहाँ तो घर में हमारी दादी माँ जो है ना हर समय घी खिलाती थी, किसी के बच्चा होता है तो घी खिलाते हैं, छोटे बच्चे को कि घी खा ले ताकत आ जाएगी। अब डॉक्टर कहता है कि डोंट ईट घी। आपको पता है व्हाट हैपेंड नाउ, लुक एट द इंपैक्ट ऑफ दिस ऑन द बटर प्राइसेस इन द इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स। घी बटर की कीमत ऐसे बढ़ती ऐसे घटती जैसे सोना ऊपर नीचे चलता हो। $5,000 से 3,000, कैन यू इमेजिन, 1100 हो गया। एंड अमेरिका में द प्राइस ऑफ बटर इज नॉट इंक्रीजिंग, हैज इंक्रीज, बट अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड इट इज डिक्लाइन, क्योंकि अभी तक हमारे डॉक्टर ने तो मना ही नहीं किया। घर पे अगर मैं थोड़ा मक्खन खा लेता हूं तो बच्चे कहते हैं कि भैया मत खाओ, मर जाओगे। डॉक्टर कहता है मत खाओ। अमेरिका दे स्टार्टेड टेलिंग कि आप बटर खाइए। सो काइंडली टेक ऑल साइंटिफिक इन्वेंशंस एंड देयर प्रेस्क्रिप्शंस विद विजडम। 3 चीजें अलग अलग होती हैं, एक नॉलेज होती है, एक स्किल होती है, और एक विजडम होती है। समझ गए? नॉलेज वो होती है क्लास में पढ़ने से आती है, स्किल वो होती है जो आप प्लांट पे सिखाते हो, और विजडम वो होती है इससे नहीं आती है, उसके लिए है ना बुद्धम शरणम गच्छामि, वो आपको बाद में बताएंगे हम. Now the biggest problem is coming, which I think anyway we are doing on the sustainability. हम भी बहुत, yesterday, day before yesterday I spoke for carbon trading, but what is very important is the developed countries are creating non-tariff barrier. मैंने तो बताया, I was in Brussels, I was talking to this European, the dairy trade organization. उसने कहा साहब हम आपका माल कभी नहीं आने देंगे यहाँ पे. We'll put one or another barrier. You talk of subsidy. I'm sure that you don't know. In this 2022, the Biden administration has given subsidy for manufacturing of chip and sustainability for $463 billion. The total subsidy in 22-23 in the whole world is going to be 1.1 trillion US dollar. और वो हमको कहते हैं सब्सिडी मत दो. So I think you also need to understand between the lines. You talk of globalization to the whole world and you are closing like nowhere before. ठीक है, मेरे पास आ गया. नंबर 1, you increase the milk production. नंबर 2, प्रोसेसिंग, ये बता चुके हैं लोग बाग. लो शेयर आपका ऑर्गेनाइज मार्केट में, ये हमको बढ़ाना है, एंड वैल्यू एडेड कंजप्शन. आई थिंक विद दिस आई विल क्लोज दिस, है ना. कभी फुर्सत में बैठेंगे. एंड नन्नी,
Thank you so much, sir. And very honestly, we never feel a bit of sleep anyway. Thank you so much, sir, once again. And at this time also, the session is open for the questions. So the participants of both the halls can pop up the questions to our beloved sir. Participants in any of the hall, if there
yes,
is
sir.
any
One question. Sir, Joshi ji से एक question है कि after the presentation there is confusion in two areas. Like एक जगह से कहते हैं कि आप क्रॉस ब्रीड करो 90% से ऊपर लेके जाओ. So दूसरी जगह से आते हैं कि आपका जो इंडिजिनस जो काउ ब्रीड्स है उसको पालो पोसो. Then what we have to do, whether we have to go for crossbreed or indigenous?
No, I think this is what you are asking is a well researched.
I'll tell.
That is one thing.
No. Let us first listen the answer for the first thing. See, crossbreeding up to certain blood level is fine, but please understand our climate is not suitable for the exotic animals. If you have exotic animals with all imported animals here, they will have the disease problems. The disease resilience which our Indian breeds, indigenous breeds have is not available in the exotic breed. So crossbreeding to a certain level is fine, maintain blood level, and even for the nondescript animals, we have a clear-cut policy which says you do crossbreeding. Crossbreeding as far as possible, if you are doing with the good indigenous breeds like Gir, like Sahiwal, for the non-discrete animals, it will have more disease resilience and it will also give you more milk production. You can also have crossbreeding with the exotic animals, but please see that the blood level does not increase.
So whether there is any managemental areas to study whether there is we are crossing the limits or not?
It's there in the breeding policies of the state. It's all well laid down.
Okay, the second thing is much more controversial one because we have seen two types of data regarding the production of milk or the percentage of milk and regarding the percentage of contribution to the total India's production and export. So that is also somewhat confusing. Whether our state actually in a state of what you call self-sufficiency or we have to push more than pushing with words.
Push more means, what do you mean?
In the area of production, actual production.
That one has to do, data, you don't worry, data is available on the public sources. I have not taken any private data. All data is available on your economic survey, so please use this. But more than data, what is very important is, it's very simple that we have to make the state self-sufficient. There is no confusion in that. And there is also no shortcut is that. Shortcut is the longest way to achieve the goal.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time for the felicitations. First, we would like to invite Dr. M. Shashindranath, Vice Chancellor of Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, for felicitating the occasion.
Good afternoon, everybody. Respected Chair of this function, Shri K.S. Mani, our Honorable Secretary, Department of Animal Husbandry, Government of India, and our former Secretary to Animal Husbandry and Finance Secretary, Dr. R.K. Singh sir, Chairman, NDDB, Sri Manish Shah, our present Secretary, Animal Husbandry, Government of Kerala, Sri Pranab Jyoti Nath IAS, Director of Animal Husbandry, Dr. Kaushigan IAS, President IDA, Dr. Araswati, Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, Director, Indian Institute of Plantation Management, Bangalore, Sri Chief C.P. Charles, Chairman IDA, South Zone, Dr. Givargis, Vice Chairman IDA, South Zone, Ajit Kumar K., Assistant Commissioner, Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairy and Government of India, Dr. Sudhir Babu, all other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, officers from the various government departments, my dear faculty, and my dear friends from all over India, and students. At the outset, I would beg your pardon for not joining this meeting from the beginning itself, since I am not feeling well, and because of compulsion, I thought that it should not become a source of infection for others, so that's why I was keeping away. Anyhow, I am very happy that Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University is hosting such a wonderful event. For the first time since 1955, when this veterinary college was instituted by the government of Kerala. Since February 10th, we all know that this mega event is going on very well, and very happy to say that including Chief Minister, most of the ministers have attended our function, and experts from Animal Husbandry Department, Dairy Department, Veterinary University, Milma, and so on, and all other associations like dairy associations, Indian dairy associations, and all are participating in this and contributed a lot to the knowledge, to the development of the dairy industry. Today, just you have witnessed the vision, the National Dairy Vision 2030. Lot of interactions have gone, and a lot of outcomes have come. Certainly, all this will be pointing to the development of this dairy industry. And as far as Kerala is concerned, we know that we are also approaching the self-sufficiency in the milk. And as far as veterinary university is concerned, we are also concentrating, especially the dairy faculty in our university is concentrating on various aspects of the dairy product manufacturing, value-added product manufacturing. And we are giving the training for the unemployed youth, unemployed housewives, and those who are returning from abroad. So our ultimate aim, the ultimate aim of our university is to provide the dairy industry as one of the dairy field as one of the most dependable source of income for the farmers. All of us know that during 2018 we had the flood, severe flood here, and 2019 I got an opportunity to travel across the Kerala as a part of FAO assignment, and I could understand from them that it was the dairy industry, who helped the farmers to withstand that crisis period. And of course, during the first 2018, our farmers learned a lot about how to manage the crisis, even for management of their cattle or their livestock or their pets. And our university was instrumental in providing such information, such training to how to face that disaster. And 2019 also we had flood in certain part of Kerala, and our farmers were very efficient in managing that disaster situation. So what I want to say, this type of annual conference of such a mega event, bringing all the people concerned from all aspects of one industry, for example, dairy industry, different parts, starting from the production, farming community, till the marketing, till the, and even marketing also has got, and value-added production. Now in Kerala, in olden days, all of us know that each and every house will be having 1 or 2 cows. But now that situation has changed. Now, medium 10 or 5 to 10 animals, such small farms have come up like anything. And our production has not gone down. The production of animals have gone up. Average production we are second to Punjab. Now if you are taking, all of you know better than me. So all this pointing towards the collective effort what we are doing, starting from the farmer, starting from the industry, starting from the research institutions and so on. So this seminar or this this type of mega event will be useful, and we will be implementing what are the outcome. And our Honorable Minister, Srimati J. Chinchurani, she has conducted an adalat during the last few days, 2 days back. And many of the farmers, they directly told their problems. And even they were suggesting the time of milk collection should be changed. Now they are telling that it is very difficult for them. Morning they are milking, then by noon they are again second milking. The interval between the milking is less, and the daytime they are missing. Because of the collection time of the milk is fixed as such a time, they are not in a position. And some of the farmers were suggesting that we can increase the interval, and we can increase the production too. We will have to think about such suggestions from the farmers. So lot of things have come up. Lot of things have come up in the event, and let us take the positive sides, and whatever practicable we can implement it. And in the years also, the years to come, we have to see that our dairy industry is going up like anything, as Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi was telling. We can aspire, we can dream a lot, and we can achieve great things. I congratulate and I thank on behalf of Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University to all the dignitaries and all the participants who have attended this meeting as a part of this mega event. I thank the organizers also for giving me this opportunity. I wish all success for this dairy industry and dairy farmers at the most. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have 2 more felicitations. I kindly request the felicitators to stick on to the time that is allotted to you. Now, I kindly request Sri C.P. Charles, Chairman of IDA South Zone, for the felicitation.
Good afternoon. Respected Secretaries of Union Government and State Government, Chairman NDDB, President IDA, Directors of Departments, Government of Kerala, Chairman of Milk Federation, Chairman of Milk Unions, Director IAPM, faculty, and Chairman of IDA Kerala chapter, Registrar of the University, dignitaries on of the dais. At the outset, I just thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity today to stand before you. I am happy to stand here in the land where the 46th Dairy Industry Conference was conducted 5 years back. And you are all aware that it has set a benchmark for the Indian Dairy Association for conducting such DICs in future too. And Professor Varghese and his team are definitely responsible for making that a grand success. Today we are talking about vision, but I am going to talk about 4 significant events or achievements of Kerala. In 1981, I came to Kerala from NDDB as a spearhead team member to implement Operation Flood program. Milk was not available. Morning tea or morning coffee, no milk was available. Whatever milk very rarely we get is nothing but white water. Today milk is available. That's the first significant achievement by the Kerala farmers, milk producers, government and the department. Second one, Kerala is the only state which pays the highest price for cow milk to milk producers. 42 rupees for 3.5 and 8.5. No state is giving this. I think responsibility, pardon, correct? Yeah, other day we were in Delhi, myself and Dr. Sodhi, we were talking, he was saying Bahut Badhiya price. Okay, right. So, thanks to Federation and the government for just making this livelihood of the milk producers highly, profitable. So, that is nothing but economical viability of the milk producers is taken care in Kerala. The third point, people have already talked, the productivity of the animal. What is productivity? It is nothing but the indicator of efficiency. 10.24 kg per day, the highest in South India and second in the India. So this, whatever we talk about, 2.54 million metric ton, it is low, whatever we talk, but in efficiency side, Kerala excels well. And the fourth point is about the quality and the safety aspect of milk. Kerala has got around 539 bulk milk coolers established at the village level. There are 17,396 bulk coolers across India established under the cooperative sector. 3% of the total number is available in Kerala. That means the unions, federation, they are taking care of the quality and the safety aspects of the common public or the consumer. This is the fourth significant achievement. So that means Kerala has set an example for the other states in the India on how dairying can be efficiently made as an effective livelihood for the milk producers, how it can provide a safe milk to the consumers, and also how in productivity and efficiency it can just do well. There are several issues, but I will only quote one example. The people are all are talking about fodder deficit. Recently, I had an opportunity to travel across Malabar Milk Union. They have established 3 fodder hubs. It is almost on the lines of feed center of Israel. And definitely, I think this is a role model, and the entire state can just replicate it, and you will be able to do wonderfully well in reaching the self-sufficiency. You have got the will, you have got the ability, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I invite Professor Dr. P.I. Givargis, Vice Chairman of IDA South Zone, to felicitate the occasion. So kindly stick on to the time.
Definitely.
Sure,
I will not
sir.
exceed 2 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Most
Thank you so much.
respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, beloved participants coming across Kerala. So at the outset, I would like to congratulate Milma, Malabar Regional Cooperative Milk Producers Union, for selecting this venue that has been created in the name of Dr. Varghese Kurian for conducting this prestigious national seminar. And secondly, I would like to thank the organizers for associating the Indian Dairy Association and also the Varghese Kurian Institute in conducting this seminar. And again, I am sure that the outcome of the deliberations that has been carried out here will be used extensively for planning for the next 10 years for the development of the dairy industry in India, particularly for Kerala. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We are now nearing to the end of the program. Here I invite Sri Ajit Kumar K, Assistant Commissioner, Dairy Development. He is a very supportive officer to Milma and always extends his full help for the implementation of the government projects. We happily welcome you, sir, for summing up the seminar.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and all the respected participants from all over Kerala and different organizations. Here we had two technical sessions by Sodhi sir and Rakesh Joshi sir. They have very simply and very immersively conveyed their ideas regarding the India dairy sector 2020-30. So here I have nothing to say more. It is very clear to everyone that what they have conveyed, and we have noted it down also to take action on that ideas as per our situations, especially with respect to the Kerala state. Here the future is just like a car with 4 wheels. The 4 wheels are the various agencies that will function. Here the goal is to move from Trivandrum to Thrissur. That is the vision from where we stand in the dairy sector in this year and next 10 years, that is 2030, what we will achieve. How can we reach that place is very clear if all the 4 wheels work together in synchronization and full cooperation and for the common goal that we have to move from Trivandrum to Thrissur. So here I request it is not for Kerala, it's for all the states in India which will work together to take India moving forward to 2030. So without any ego, all the agencies should take part, like how this function has been organized in the state milk festivals organized. So this is the main thrust what we take home from this seminar for our vision in the coming next 10 years. And with these words, I thank all the organizers and thank all the participants for coming up to make this seminar very successful one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time of gratitude. We are honoring the newly elected IDA South Zone office bearers. I humbly request President of IDA, Dr. R.S. Sodhi, to honor the office bearers by giving away the mementos. First, I request Sri C.P. Charles to receive the honor. Sir, kindly step onto the stage to receive the honor from Sodhi sir. Charles sir was elected as the chairman of IDA South Zone and Central Executive Committee member. Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Rajendra Uma sir to receive the honor from Soti sir. Sir, please. Let me invite Dr. C.T. Satin sir to receive the honor from Soti sir. Satin sir. Next, I invite Dr. P.I. Givergese to receive the honor from Soti sir. I call upon Sri Abraham Joseph to receive the same. It's really happy to announce that Malabar Milma is elected to IDA South Zone in the organization category. Here we request Chairman of Malabar Milma, Sri K.S. Mani, to receive the honor from Dr. Sodhi, President of IDA. Thank you, Sodhi sir. Now, IDA Kerala chapter is honoring our special guest. IDA Kerala chapter is handing over the memento to President of IDA, Dr. R.S. Sodhi. I request Sri C.P. Charles to hand over the memento, and we kindly request R.S. Sodhi sir to receive the same. Thank you, sir. This seminar is a very unique program organized in Indian dairy industry. Most popular personalities in Indian dairy industry is united in the same stage and wonderfully presented their perspectives. In this auspicious occasion, Milma is honoring our beloved chief guest and requests them to receive the memento of Milma. ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ ഏറെ സന്തോഷത്തോടെ മിൽമ ഇവിടെ സന്നിഹിതരായിരിക്കുന്ന മുഖ്യ അതിഥികളെ പൊന്നാടി അണിയിക്കുകയും മെമൻറ്റോ നൽകി ആദരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നു. We request Chairman of Milma, Sri K.S. Mani, to hand over the mementos to the delegates. First, I request Sri Rajesh Kumar Singh IAS to kindly receive the memento. We would like to call upon Sri Minesh C. Shah, Chairman NDDB, to receive the memento from our dear Chairman. With great happiness, we request Dr. R.S. Sodhi, President of IDA, to receive the token of love. Okay, once again, we call upon Sri Minesh C. Shah, Chairman of NDDB, to receive the memento from our Chairman. Sir, kindly. With great happiness, we request Dr. R.S. Sodhi, President of IDA, to receive the token of love from our Chairman. We gladly call upon Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi to receive the memento from our Milma chairman. Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi. Thank you, sir. More memento is left. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Asif K. Yusuf, IAS MD of Milma, to honor the rest of the persons. I request Asif K. Yusuf, sir, to hand over the mementos. I request Sri Pranab Jodhinatha A, sir.
Carry this also.
I request Pranab Jodhinatha A, sir, to receive the memento. Now I invite Mr. Rajit Kumar, Assistant Commissioner of Department of Dairy, to receive the memento. Let me call Dr. P. Sudhir Babu, Registrar of Veterinary University, receive the memento from sir. Also, I request our Vice Chancellor of Veterinary University to receive the memento from us, sir. Now I request Dr. Rajkumar sir, Dean, Varghese Kurian Institute of Dairy and Food Technology, to receive the memento from sir. Thank you, all the dignitaries. Thank you, sir. Now it's time to propose the vote of thanks. Just before the vote of thanks, let me remind you, tea is arranged outside the hall, and everyone have a refreshment session. Now, I request Professor S.N. Rajkumar, President, IDA Kerala Chapter, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening to one and all. Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, participants from various fields, my dear students and faculty members. It is said that thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. On behalf of the organizing committee, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to all. who have directly and indirectly contributed to this seminar on Indian Dairy Industry Vision 2030. First of all, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to President of the today's function, Srimati J. Chinchurani, Honorable Minister for Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development, Government of Kerala. Words are not enough to thank her relentless effort and support for making this program a great success. Today, we are honored to have Sri R.K. Singh, IAS, Secretary, Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development, Government of India with us. On behalf of the organizing committee and everyone present here, I express my heartfelt thanks to Sri R.K. Singh, IAS, who graced us by his presence and inaugurated the national seminar. We are very much grateful to speakers of today's seminar. It is an absolute privilege and honor to have Sri R.S. Sodhi, President, Indian Dairy Association, as one of the speakers of today's seminar. Sir, we are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. I take this opportunity to thank Sri R.S. Sodhi on behalf of everyone present here. We are delighted to have Professor Dr. Rakesh Mohan Joshi, Director, Indian Institute of Plantation Management, Bengaluru, as one of the speakers today. I extended my heartfelt thanks to Professor Dr. Rakesh Mohan Joshi for enlightening us with a very informative session. It is our absolute pleasure to have Sri Manish Shah, Chairman, National Dairy Development Board with us today. I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to Sri Manish Shah for blessing us with his gracious presence and words. Next, I would like to place on record my sincere thanks to Sri Pranab Joshinath, IAS, Secretary to Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development, Government of Kerala, Dr. A. Kaushikan, IAS, Director, Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development Department. I would like to thank Sri K.S. Bani, Chairman, KCMMF, who proposed the welcome speech for the program. I also take this opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate your effort for successful conduct of this seminar. Thanks are due to Sri M.T. Jayan, Chairman, Ernakulam Regional Cooperative Milk Producers Union, Sri N. Basuranganan, Convener, Administrative Committee, Trivandrum Regional Cooperative Milk Union Limited, and Sri Asif K. Yusuf, IAS, Managing Director, Kerala Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation Limited, who graced us with their valuable presence. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Sri Ajit Kumar K., Assistant Commissioner, Dairy Development, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy Development, Government of India, who summarized the seminar in a befitting manner. I feel proud and grateful for making this seminar a successful one. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. A lot of people have tirelessly worked and have put their effort for the success conduct of this seminar. I thank everyone for their hard work for the completion of the task beyond their comfort zone. On behalf of the organizing committee, I express my heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. M.R. Shashindranath, Professor Dr. P. Sudhir Babu, our Registrar, Dr. C. Latha, Director of Academics and Research, Dr. T.S. Rajiv, Director of Entrepreneurship, and all other officers of Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University for their support, guidance, and assistance in conduct of this seminar. I am very much thankful to Sri C.P. Charles, Central Executive Committee member, Indian Dairy Association, New Delhi, and also Chairman, IDA, South Zone, Bengaluru, Dr. P.I. Givargis, Vice Chairman, Indian Dairy Association, South Zone, Bengaluru, and the members of Indian Dairy Association South Zone, as well as the officer bearers and members of Indian Dairy Association Kerala chapter for their valuable contribution and guidance for making the program a great success. I would like to thank Sri Ramurthy and Sri Khanna, Chairman and Secretary respectively from Indian Dairy Association Tamil Nadu chapter for attending today's seminar. I also extend my sincere thanks to officers of Kerala Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation under the brand name of Milma, and officers of 3 regional milk unions, that is Malabar Regional Cooperative Milk Producers Union Limited, Ernakulam Regional Cooperative Milk Producers Union Limited, and Trivandrum Regional Cooperative Milk Union Limited, who have put constant effort and rendered help for the successful conduct of this national seminar and also Kshirotsavam program. Thanks are due to officers of Kerala Dairy Development Department, Animal Husbandry Department, KLD Board, Kerala Feeds for your valuable effort and support in conduct of this seminar and Kshira Sangam programs. I am very much thankful to the media person, police officers and all the technicians who have worked for the smooth functioning of this event. I also express my sincere thanks to teaching and non-teaching staff of Varghese Korean Institute of Dairy and Food Technology, Manuti, for putting their valuable effort in the conduct of today's program. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of motivated and dedicated students committee and volunteers. I wish to express sincere thanks to all of our students for their involvement and the willingness they have expressed ever since the planning stage. I would like to express my deep sense of thanks and appreciation to all the participants comprising the officers of KCMMF, MRC-MPU, ERC-MPU, TRC-MPU, Office of Dairy Development Department, Animal Husbandry Department, KLD Board, Kerala Feeds, officers from Kerala Agriculture University, Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University, and also from National Dairy Development Board, who attend this seminar with great enthusiasm and made the program a great success. Last but not the least, I would like to thank newly elected Indian Dairy Association South Zone Executive Committee members from Indian Dairy Association Kerala Chapter, Dr. R. Rajendra Kumar, Vice Chairman elect, Dr. C.T. Satyan, representing the Research Worker and Educationist category, Dr. Sri Abraham T. Joseph, representing Professional and Planner category, and Sri Premlal, representing the Member Dairy Industry category on behalf of MRC-MPU. I would like to thank newly elected ZDC member from Indian Dairy Association Tamil Nadu chapter, Venkatachalam, representing Member Dairy Industry category. If any names are missing, it is not intentional, kindly forgive me. Thank you everyone once again. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. One more announcement regarding the compliments has arranged at the registration counter. Kindly collect the compliments duly. Also, tea is arranged outside in the ground floor where lunch is provided. Kindly have the refreshment also. So here comes the announcing. Shall we have the national anthem? We will always all stand for the national anthem. The official function has come to the end.
गणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you all dignitaries. Once again wish all the delegates, dignitaries a very great day.